What is up, Friday Nighters? Welcome back to another episode of Just Another Friday Night. I am one of your two hosts, CM Chuck. Across the way from me right here, the man himself, Double A, Adamantium Adam. I know I keep changing his name on the bottom so that we can create confusion, right? We are the podcast of many initials, is it right? It's Double A, CM, JAFN. So, we're trying to make it very, very confusing for everyone, but it's Adamantium Adam, CM Chuck, and Just Another Friday Night.
You guys see me, it's just Adam sometimes.
There you go, right?
Yeah, we're all friends around here.
We're trying to use our wrestling names, you know what I mean, out in society, guys. Guys, welcome to the show. Happy Friday, right?
Happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday. Yeah, indeed, a Good Friday it is. Hey, check this out, though. I got a little battle scar here for you right there.
Uh-oh, what happened? What happened there?
I got a little bit of the mutant injection, the cure. I don't know if they say that. Or
maybe you see forearms popping out of CM's body.
I'm hoping for flight and invulnerability, but I'll settle.
No insect turning.
Yeah, no insect turning. We'll see what kind of powers are you guys hoping for out there in Friday night?
The alien comes out of your chest, like the classic cover, right? Superman.
That's a good one right there. Me and my nephew, I always say when we played the game Fortnite, they added that little thing but instead of the alien bursting out, it's their little loot llama. That's what bursts out of you.
Okay. All right.
That's like a little joke. Guys, our format here, we like to go live every Friday night on Facebook Live. If you're ever able to join us, please do so. I'm about to crack my first cold one here. I'm waiting for mine to cool down. Grab a drink, come and join us, join the conversation. We'd like to talk all things pop culture news, pop culture references, pop culture movies. Oh, here we go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. See, Double A's coming in clutch right there. Oh, and he gave me this fancy glass right here. Look at this. Double A's trying to class me up here with this nice Stella Artois. Or how does the dude say it?
Artus.
Stella Artus. So we like to go live on Facebook on Friday nights, so you can join the conversation. But you can always hear this podcast afterwards on YouTube, complete and uncut, on Anchor, Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music.
It's a little bit more trimmed there, more tight. And on the audio than it is on YouTube. On YouTube, you get the whole episode. That's the whole uncut episode.
The whole enchilada. And the reason for that, guys, is because every 30 minutes what we do is we take a break. We read through all your comments so that way we can address what you're saying in addition to what we're saying about our topic of the week, what we're talking about. So, but at the beginning of every show and at the end of every show, we like to open and begin with your comments and your highs and hellos. So we'll take a look at some of that right now and see what's coming in. Who do we got here with us? Oh, Steve in the house. Steve, cheers, Steve. Here's to you, man. Thanks for joining us as always. Steve says, good. It's all right. Show your teas. Steve, I have not picked them up yet. I will be picking. Oh, our teas that we have on. There we go. We'll give you a little clue. And it was on the Friday Night Faithful group. If you're not a member, please join our Facebook group called the Friday Night Faithful, which is what we call all of you who join us every Friday night. You are a Friday Nighter. You are one of the Friday Night Faithful if you're here with us, like Steve here says. And we did order T-shirts for the podcast.
Yes, we did. If you went to our Facebook.
Our Facebook,
man, CM has a whole rainbow of colors of new shirts. They look ridiculously badass.
Yeah, so big kudos and big thank yous to the fine folks, Annie
Deuces Mercado,
guys. She also, I think we're going to get some of these on our 1-year episode. Friday Nighter Jack said, people who wanted one. So these are going to be coming into. This is also the logo that's going to be on the shirt. It's kind of a combination of two of our logos. But I don't have them yet. The shirts here, or I would show them. The shirts are actually still at her shop. I've got to go pick them up maybe sometime this weekend. I'm hoping tomorrow morning I will, because our good friends, the owners of El Luchador Bar, are going to be at their coffee shop, which also sells beer, called Tandem tomorrow. Tomorrow, I guess it's good call almost like a grand opening this weekend.
Yeah.
They're going to be having catered barbecue from 2M Barbecue. That's right here near me and Double A.
South Side. It's usually regarded as like our best barbecue. San Antonio is like in magazines.
Yeah, and the guys are from they are from San Antonio that run 2M, but apparently they trained in Austin. So all like the famous Austin barbecue you hear about.
Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin. These guys came from there and they brought barbecue here. If you go by, we live right by it, so we go by. There's always a line.
It's on WWY. It's open like Wednesdays through Sundays, I believe, and it's open from like what 11. until
they run out.
Until they run out.
Yeah, and they do run out. Yeah. And I've got the opportunity way before COVID, kind of around the time when they maybe initially opened, to taste some of the barbecue, and it was really, really delicious.
Yeah, I've had it too. It's pretty damn good. So
I remember seeing the guy. He had the turkey soaking. He took it out, chopped it, then he kind of like dipped it again in the turkey juices. Gravy. It was pretty damn good. So they're going to be giving away that, from what I understand. I think it's going to be some shirts free, too, right? Some free shirts. Yeah. So go out to Tandem. I believe it's also on Roosevelt.
Yes, it's not too far down from Luchador.
I want to give you guys their exact information, because I hate to do them wrong with that. 310 Riverside Drive in San Antonio. Just put it in your thing, in your Google Maps. But it is called Tandem. They sell dark matter coffee. They're going to have a neon sign dedication. They're going to have free cold coffee, a chocolate tasting. That's tomorrow. And then on Sunday, which is Easter, I know everyone will probably be busy, but they're going to have tacos free from Taco Way Tacos. I think it's going to be free. A DJ. Wait, don't quote me on the free part. They're going to have a DJ, also free cold coffee, and another chocolate tasting.
Get more info.
On Easter Sunday, you'll probably be busy.
Don't go expecting.
Don't go quoting me on that to the guys at Tandem, but go to Tandem anyway and get a free coffee. At least that's on the flyer. So go check that out.
Joe says, "Let's go."
Yeah,
Joe, I'm glad you're here. We're gonna have a big roundabout talk about the Snyder Cut, see what we liked, didn't like. Was it a good movie? Was it a bad movie?
That's exactly what we're talking about. We already revealed that. We did a little bit of an early reveal.
Joe. We're getting closer.
Yeah, Joe, thank you for coming out last Sunday over to Bang Bang Bar to support the outdoor market there, put on by the Bang Bang Bar and Foxy Roxy's team, one of our other Friday Nighters there, and Friday Nighter Jess, who created our co-created our logo, was out there. She sold some merch. She had some really great Among Us, hand crocheted Among Us stuffed little creatures. She had some art, some jewelry. She sells paparazzi jewelry. So she did pretty well. It was a good day. It was very windy in the morning, so it's kind of hectic. But let's see what else.
Jason, what's up, man?
Hey, Jason, great honor to meet you last Saturday, man. Thank you so much. Got to say hello to you quickly, shake your hand over by Rick's Comics. I'm sorry we didn't get to chat more, but really nice to finally meet you, Jason from Hondo, the Red Hulk, man. Super sad weekend last weekend, huh? Double A.
That was it. Closing of Authority Comics. As far as in Traders Village.
The cowboy Mario Delgado rides away, man.
Rides away to something better.
But you can still get a hold of him, guys, through his email.
He told us, you ever have a question, you want him to look for something. He said, still message him through Authority Comics' Facebook. He said that's where he does all his business, on Facebook. And we got some great last pickups from him. We want to show you guys here in a few. Let's see what else. Joe says, Jerry, Anthony, if you are free, join. Those might be tags. You probably tag Jerry and Anthony. Okay, because we're looking through on StreamYard at the comments, so we don't always see. He's saying for them to join. Joe says, cheers, Joe's. Again, here's another cheers to you. What are you drinking on tonight, Joe? Let us know. Richard in the house. What's up, guys? Rich? What's up, Rich? Glad that you're here, my brother. Glad you're here, man. I hope you got your Snyder Cut in. Yeah. So I want to hear. I know you've got probably some really great thoughts on it, so I'm looking forward to hearing that. Maria is here. Maria, a great birthday party. Sure she's saying hi. Great birthday party. Maria, that's my mom. Awesome. Mom, so happy 65th again. Awesome. We appreciate it. Mom, when you put the little emoji thingies, I can't see them on this particular software. We'll see it later. We'll see it later. Joe says, hell yeah, to the Southeast. Right on. Yeah, go guys. Please support Tandem. They're a great coffee shop. I've had their coffee before. They even have one. I don't know if they still have it or if they do like monthly flavors, but it was if you like that Samoa cookie that the Girl Scouts do, it was like a coffee that tasted like, it was really delicious. And they have like Mexican chocolate flavors on their coffees. They've got a real variety of stuff. The coffee is from a company called Dark Matter. I think they're kind of maybe mainly based out of Chicago. The owners, that's right. Yeah. They got some really interesting. Yeah, Jesse told us a lot about that on our podcast episode, El Luchador. Yeah, go check that episode. He kind of talked about all that stuff that he was going to do. So and they've got some like little kolaches and other breakfast stuff there, type of stuff you can get. They do, I think, their own like Pop-Tarts. I don't think they make the baked goods there. They're brought in, but they're brought in from a place that makes them handmade. So it's not like a store-bought stuff. Awesome. Mom says,
To you, Mijo, Adam, and the fam, my mom. Steve says yes. The second edition of the bottle opener. Yes, I'm working on bottle openers too. It's very possible that I may have shirts and bottle openers tomorrow at Tandem. I don't quote me on that yet, but if I do,
send out the message.
Yeah, I'll go live. I'll do something to let y'all know. Hey, I'm here and I've got stuff. If you want to come get it, guys. Shirts are going to be $20. We would love more than anything to give stuff away to you guys for free. That's not in our budget, unfortunately, right now. So we got to charge you guys. So $20, I think, is a pretty fair price for a great looking soft t-shirt. It's nice. It's going to be a logo that lasts. It's not going to fade out. Annie at Deuces Mercado does a fantastic job with the stuff, and it's a really kick-ass looking logo. You guys can't beat our logo. So there you go, and you get to rep what we like to think is the best Southside San Antonio podcast, at least in this. Maybe area code? I don't know. I don't want another podcast to come after us, but hey, if you do, take your shots, right? Let's see what else.
Rich said that's some good barbecue.
Yes.
Joe says they always run out. It's good.
Okay.
Nice. Jason says I'm back.
Welcome back, sir. Welcome back, Jason. We appreciate you, man.
Joe says me and Jennifer might pass by Tandem tomorrow.
Right on. I'll let you guys know when I'm there. Yeah.
Steve says need to go to El Luchador.
Yes.
Joe says, Jessica, my daughter loves her Among Us.
Oh, awesome, man. That's great. Yeah, I forgot you guys bought an Among Us. Thank you all so much for that sale. And I sold Joe a Punisher Wolverine in the Jungle comic. Joe, how was that? I told you. I was very reluctant to sell the few comics I had there. Like Friday Night or John Holty Bear was giving me a hard time. He was like, are you going to put the comics on the table? I was like, yeah, if somebody asks me, I'll show them. But if they don't ask, I'm not going to show them. So I came home with my comics, but it was a small short box. Mom's put some more. I think Mom put some more graphics there. If you're on the Facebook Live, Mom, we appreciate that. Joe says he's drinking on the Deftones beer. Joe, save one for me. I want to try that. Rich says I have some good thoughts on the movie. Okay, cannot wait to hear it. Let says hi, handsome cousins.
Hi, Let.
Hi, beautiful cousin Let. Joe says I miss Mario already.
You do too.
Jason says that. I'm sorry, Jason. I totally feel you on that. We also miss him very much already, man. Gone. I feel we're saying gone too soon. Gone too soon from the San Antonio at least. But I know we'll be seeing more Mario in the future. Let's see. Rich says, what are the prices for the bottle openers? One of these, Rich, right here, we're selling them for. It's two-sided. There's the black side. They're all like this. I think the colors might vary. I don't have them yet in my possession, but when I do, I'll let you pick. They're $5. These are $5, Rich. So if you want one, please let me know. You guys can also always send me a private message or send the podcast a private message, and we'll both see it. Me and Double A. Let's see what else we got in there.
Yeah, Rich said best pop culture podcast.
Yes, and that's what we want to hear.
And Joe goes, fuck that. This is the best podcast.
All right, then there you go. I'll take that right there, Joe.
And Joe says my kid took the comic.
That's right on, man. Let the kids read the comics, man. That's all good stuff there.
And then Rich says, when you get some, I will definitely take one.
All right. I appreciate it. They're very good, very sturdy. And you know what? It's great about them, Rich. They go right into your wallet. Like if you have a credit card slot in your wallet, slides right in there. It's perfect. I have one in mine. Double A, what do we got first, man? Adrenalize me. What's up on the news? I feel like there was a lot of stuff that went on.
Well, on April Fool's Day, Creepshow premiere. Season 2. So if any of you guys are Creepshow fans, hey, it's out there right now.
I can't wait to catch up. I love season 1. Lots of great Easter eggs, guys, from the Creepshow movies and Stephen King stuff in that original, that first, at least the first episode for sure. But I watched the whole season. There was a great werewolf episode in there. We talked about our werewolf episode. The makeup and everything done by Greg Nicotero, famous from The Walking Dead. So it looks fantastic. Some of it is cheesy, but that's also a hallmark of Creepshow.
Yeah, if you've seen parts 1 and 2, then
if you like Elvira stuff and like Joe Bob's Drive-In, you're gonna dig it. You're gonna dig it.
Speaking of Walking Dead, this is gonna be, if you guys are still into Walking Dead, this Sunday is gonna be the last episode. Of this first half, but it's gonna be Negan's origin. So
I'm very excited.
We're finally gonna see Lucille.
The origins,
and how he becomes Negan. So I'm hoping this one's going to be so much better than the comic book origin. I did not really enjoy the comic book form. I don't think he's a good writer. Robert Kirkman, I don't think he's very much of a good writer. That's just me though. He's fucking banking it though. So what the hell do I know? Right?
The guy's smart. I give him that. Yeah, it was quite the savvy businessman for sure.
The comic book it reads fast and it's just I don't know. I don't think it's really good comics. So.
But we both still enjoy the show, right? I haven't really heard your opinion. We haven't talked about this of the single episodes.
Right now these first 6 are up and down for me.
Okay.
It's a roller coaster right now. There's some good ones. There's some ones that are kind of like dragging, but
I've enjoyed them. I really enjoyed last week's.
I did too.
I feel like we're getting a good taste of what's to come with the Daryl and Carol show. I'm looking forward to that. What did you think of, real quickly? And we don't want to get into. We might talk about this. But the Robert Patrick episode.
That was good. I actually enjoyed that one a lot. It's the princess one was okay.
That one
I didn't hate it.
Low point for me,
but I didn't hate it
because I like her. Yeah,
I didn't hate it. And then the one with last week's, it was fine. I think there were some parts that dragged too much with Carol when it was just Carol. I think it dragged too much.
I agree. Could have used a little tightening up. A little bit.
Yeah. I think they focused too much on her, not enough on Daryl. I wish I could have seen more of Daryl.
Yeah. Like the rat thing was kind of like, what's going on with that?
The soup thing.
It drug out.
The awkwardness with her and Jerry. I was like,
I did like Jerry giving her a hug.
I did too, but it was just like there was like that. Really, like you guys are still awkward.
Yeah,
like you were with Ezekiel, you're with Jerry,
and we're like so far in the future now. I'm like, how long have y'all been around each other?
Yeah,
but there was just this beat when she said what she said, and he just leaned in for the hug, and I was like, that was in my mind. I was like, yes, that's exactly what you do. You hug a person like that right then. But
speaking of Kirkman, you just told me right before we went on his new show Invincible on Amazon. That's gaining a lot of praise. So
guys,
I'm gonna probably check that out when I get a chance.
Quick episodes, not like a full hour. Amazon Prime, animated, amazing voice cast. If you guys miss Glenn from The Walking Dead, Stephen Yeun, now Academy Award nominated, is the voice of the primary character, Invincible. His dad is the voice J.K. Simmons, who's going to be in what we talk about tonight. J.K. Simmons, obviously as
J.
Jonah from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but also as Commissioner Gordon in the
Justice League. Tom Holland one too.
That's right. And then Tom Holland. Also, J. Jonah was in it now. I forgot about that. In the Marvel verse too, the Marvel Studios verse. So J.K. Simmons, Sandra Oh. People like her from that Killing Eve show. She's the voice of the mom.
She was in Grey's Anatomy too, right?
I believe so. She was in Grey's Anatomy. And then I might be wrong about the Killing Eve. I don't know if that is Sandra. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, she's great as one of the voice. If you look, we talked about King Ezekiel. King Ezekiel's voice. Carrie Payton is also one of the voices in the show.
I didn't know until I saw like Talking Dead. I didn't know he was actually the voice of Cyborg.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's right.
So I was like, wow.
Yeah, Zazie Beetz. If y'all like Zazie Beetz, she was Domino in Deadpool, and also in the Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, the love interest. So she's in that. It's an amazing voice cast, guys. One of my favorite guys from the How Did This Get Made podcast. And he's also Rafi in The League. Jason Mantzoukas. He's also in a voice in Big Mouth on Netflix, which is fantastic. His voice is very distinct. You know it right away. And he's a great podcaster. That's a great podcast. He did a good episode on the Snyder Cut. If you guys want to hear something in addition to ours, a supplementary podcast, go check out How Did This Get Made. Invincible, man, it's really cool. If you guys are fans of things like Kick-Ass, if you're fans of things like The Boys, you will love Invincible. Check it out on Amazon Prime. You will not be disappointed. And if you are, let me know. Who are we saying regarding? Oh, what I wanted to tell you was, did you watch the Talking Dead episode with Robert Patrick?
No, I didn't.
So he did a cool thing. So I think towards the end, Chris Hardwick asked him, he says, can you give us a little T1000 run a little bit? And then he goes, I'll do you a little bit better. And he went like this, and he gave him the finger. It was very cool. And he was like, yes, like he was cheering. It was pretty cool. Another great thing I got to see, Double A, I mentioned it to you before we were on air. Guys, we want to see a cool documentary that's like, I don't like documentaries, boring, blah, blah. This is a not boring documentary. It's a very entertaining, very fun, very quick documentary. Go on
Netflix,
and check out the last Blockbuster.
I want to see that.
Man, if you guys are like us, kids of kind of the 90s, it was
Hollywood Video and Blockbuster for me.
Man, you know, I mean, I remember Video Central when HB had Video Central, then it switched. And then,
I remember that very little. But I remember it's Hollywood Video mostly.
And I briefly had a crush on a girl that worked at Hollywood Video when I lived on the west side of San Antonio. And then we did go on several dates, and that was like my dream, to date a girl that worked at a video store. I never got any free videos though, and I never worked in a video store myself. So
that was a waste.
Yeah, and it didn't work out, sadly. But you know, I'm better off now. You know what I mean? But you know, accomplishing the dream of dating someone that worked at the video store. Well, there you go. So anyway, guys, it totally transports you back, puts you in the feels. It's a great story as well of kind of small business and how things happened, and you know how the world in a sense changed. Like we saw a business rise and then you know fall.
Honestly, I never thought Redbox would even come close to putting something like that out. I mean, in 2009, I was still renting from Blockbuster, the one in Converse.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, man, that's where I used to rent Thundercats. That's where I used to rent the wrestling tapes, man. The old movies that I wanted to see, the 50s movies, the 60s movies, the 80s movies, you know. And
what do we always talk about, right? When we talk about our logo and other logos, the Michael Jordan logo, things that are so iconic. That Blockbuster logo was one of those logos. It was just like that'd be like if somebody told us Coke was going out of business. I'd be like, what the fuck? Or McDonald's. I'd be like,
it was just unheard of for us that, you know, this little machine would put out these, you know, all these Blockbusters. I was like,
pretty wild, man. Pretty wild, but great. I want
to see it. That's on my watch list.
Yeah, very entertaining and very fun. Some good interviews from people that you do know, like Kevin Smith, and people that talk about
Tarantino.
No, but he gets mentioned, and they show a picture of him. He gets mentioned specifically by Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy says he kind of used a little bit of what he thought Tarantino would be like for his character in the Scream movies. He's like, I thought that's how he would be.
That's right. Yeah. I forgot about that part. Yeah.
And he has a really cool story about Blockbuster. Then they interview some other actors that actually worked at Blockbusters, and so it's pretty cool. I mean, it was a part of the fabric of our
growing up. It was so cool because they would sell popcorn and they would sell the movie candies. And so, you know, on the way out, you know, they even sold rewinders, you know.
So that's right.
Because they always, it always was the little sticker on the video, please rewind.
Very cool.
You know, so.
Let's check out some comments here, Double A. What do we got there? I'm missing some
Go
stuff.
all the way up.
Go all the way up here.
All
Sorry,
right.
Deftones.
Go down. Go down.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I like reading our praise there. Thank you guys.
Jerry.
Oh, what's up, Jerry? Welcome to the show, man.
Jerry, welcome.
Guys, if you don't know, Jerry Davila got a great show called Totally Rad Christmas. And I believe you were previously a contributor on a show called Tis the Podcast. Also about Christmas based. Very good fan base, very good Facebook group. I got to hear a couple of Jerry's episodes recently. I heard his episode he did with 2 other podcasters, I believe, about a Christmas episode of Who's the Boss. It was like making me smile and laugh because I was like, holy shit, like I was remembering that show so well. And then I heard his great episode all about the Christmas issue. Maybe you have this one, Uncanny X-Men 143, where Kitty Pryde pretty much takes on like almost like an alien type creature.
I don't have that one. That's right after Days of Future Past.
Yes, exactly. That's right. It's right after that.
No, I don't have that one.
He does a really great deep dive with 2 other podcasters, these 2 guys, and it's just so damn funny. Double A, like I'm laughing the whole time listening to it about their thoughts on things and like, you know, what Wolverine's wearing and their thoughts on Claremont. I know you're a huge Claremont fan, so
huge Claremont.
You would definitely like to hear their take on things. And Jerry's a big Jim Lee fan, so we love Jim Lee here too. We had the pleasure of meeting the man.
Jerry says, I remember the old Creepshow movies. So
yes, great movies, man. Jerry, we love Creepshow 1 and 2 and season 1 of the show. If you have Shudder, which you can get through Amazon Prime, it is not to be missed.
Richard says, did you hear about the Thundercats movie that will be in the works? I'm hoping it is going to be made, Richard. You know, they've teased us about Masters of the Universe. They've teased us a few times actually with Thundercats. And nothing ever comes to it. So I'm hoping this is real. I really would like to see Thundercats finally make their mark where Transformers has already come out. G.I. Joe has already come out, you know. So
He-Man, Turtles.
Yeah.
You know, if you guys hear,
Turtles even got like a major reboot in 2014. So
If you hear our first episode with Jack from Toy Dojo, we did called I Love the 80s Cartoons. We kind of talk about some of these things where we're like, man, Thundercats is kind of the untouched property, but ripe for the picking. And so now we hear that also what came out this week, Kong versus Godzilla, but it'll be that director working on Thundercats, which I'm sure will be stellar because, you haven't seen it yet. But guys, if you haven't seen Kong,
I've just been reading all the reviews. Everything's just like fantastic.
2 big thumbs up for me. I loved it.
Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool Cable, says those are some of the best fight scenes he's ever seen. So
I mean, I felt like it delivered. I would go back and rewatch it. Y'all know I'm big on that. I would buy this thing on Blu-ray in a steel box if it came out. If they did a box set of those movies, I'd buy the box set because they're all pretty solid. I really enjoy them. They're fun. And I gotta say, guys, after seeing Snyder Cut, and I'm not bad mouthing them, I'm just saying after seeing it and it's heavy and it's dark, this is kind of nice. It felt like a popcorn flick. It felt like a summer flick. It felt like, it was kicking.
I know
one
of our guys, Robert, I think, went to go see it at the
Bobby.
theater.
Yeah, Bobby went to the theater. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Robert.
Robert, right?
Went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a nice
he
drink.
goes by JR. Yeah.
He had a nice little drink, and he was like, man, it was a great experience to see it at the theaters again. So
I will tell you this, guys. When I was watching it at home on my TV, which is only about like 65 inches, I was my immediate thoughts in the first kind of scene, that's a good scene, was like, damn, this would look so good at the theater. Like that was in my mind, guys. That's part of the reason why I got my mutant shot this ready to hopefully get back out there.
As soon as I get mine, I'm probably gonna go back out there.
Yeah, I mean that. Hey, we'll sit in the back row at the top. That way, no blowback. Yeah. But gosh, dang it, it looked really rad on TV, and I was like, I know this thing must look gorgeous in the movie theater and probably sound amazing. Yeah. My soundboard does no justice to that movie.
No, not when it comes to the theater. It's like when I saw Bohemian Rhapsody. It was so great hearing that Queen music like loud, and then whenever I see it like here on TV, it's just like, golly,
I know.
Like you actually can feel what Queen was kind of like. Just a little bit with sound, and so so when I see it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of a laydown whenever I see it. Bohemian.
One day when we move this podcast to a big studio, Double A can convert this room into an actual theater room for himself. Get you the big,
but I still need it loud, man. I need it.
You gotta get that speaker set. I'll set you up in here. Yeah. Let's see. Foxy Roxy says, "Hey, CM Chuck and Double A, what's up, Rox? Appreciate you being here." Joe says,
Jerry says, first off, Jerry, he goes, I liked his writing on Invincible. Okay. Maybe that's more suited to him.
He's writing the show too. Yeah. So, and it's good. So
maybe it's suited to him because I'm not a big fan of his Walking Dead at all. So.
I only got through that first book and I was kind of like, I felt what you were saying. I was like, it's kind of
like
thin.
I hate saying it, but it's kind of like that's like Image's thing.
Yeah.
Image Comics, it's always art over writing,
substance for big stories. Yeah. Well, the art in those books isn't really killer either to me. I mean, it's not
but Image is mostly known for their art more than the story. So
I think maybe what happened with Walking Dead is that people really got into the characters and that began that love
because that's how fleshed them out better.
Right. Yeah. Oh, let's see here.
Joe now says Kirkman got Invincible out on Amazon. Yeah, that's where we're going to see it. Jerry says he hasn't seen it yet, but it's on his watch list.
Awesome.
Then he mentions that Jason
Mantzoukas
is awesome on there.
Definitely is.
Jerry says he's a huge fan of his work.
I love him.
Joe says Sandra Oh used to come on our list for us old folks. I remember our list, but I never saw our list.
Okay, so. I watched a little bit of it. Yeah, so okay, good deal, Joe, on that. Joe's telling Jerry, watch Animals on HBO Max, not kid friendly and maybe wife friendly. We talked about this weekend, I think. Joe, Animals, me, you, and Friday Night or Holty Bear, pretty much kind of like a bit of like a raunchy type comedy, I think. But what Joe and John were saying about it, I was like, I'm interested, so I need to check it out. Animals, good selection there. Yelly in the house says, "Hi, Primos. Hi, Prima. Want to let you know that I have you and Mario's order. I'll be picking it up hopefully tomorrow. So you guys, Mario covered it. It's good, and I can't wait to see them myself because I would like to show those. Or you guys take pictures so that I can post them. But yes, Yelly, your order should be ready." Jerry says, "I remember
Movie Land Video in McAllen."
Oh, nice.
Down on the border.
That's one I do not know. That might have been a local. It sounds like, Jerry. But we have been to McAllen for the con down there, South Texas Con.
Joe says freaking Paul Scheer is great.
Yes, I love Paul Scheer, man. Excellent. Again, the other host of, well, I guess you could say the main host of How Did This Get Made, but does a great job. Sorry, guys, I kind of scrolled around when Double A was reading comments.
Okay, right there. Jerry says he rented so many movies and games from there. Richard says, damn, I remember Hollywood Video and you were able to rent out a VCR if you didn't have one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Joe says, funny, the fall of Blockbuster is because of streaming and it's streaming.
You know, it's interesting because that's what everyone said. Everyone even was saying like Netflix is what killed it. But if you watch a documentary,
I thought it was Redbox.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But if you watch a documentary, it says that we're both wrong. So check it out. Okay. See what they actually say about what really caused the yeah, really caused the fall. Of
Joe says, remember making it a Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, totally, man, totally, dude. You could rent games too. That was always fun too.
Jerry says that's irony for you.
Yeah, for sure.
And Andrew. Looks like he's pissed off.
Nene put some mean faces.
You better do it.
You better do it. Freaking Nene. Yeah. Well, Nene, why you got mad faces, bro? Did you comment? You know, I mean, I never get a shout out.
That's why I say you better do it.
I never know when you're here, bro. You're so busy, man. Dang, Nene, we appreciate you, bro. We're shouting you out right now, guys. Go check out my man Andrew Edward Benitez, aka Nene, at Funny Nene on TikTok. 500,000 followers, guys. You can't beat that. Likes from George Lopez, likes from Chris Pettis, Selena's ex. I wonder if he hates being known as just Selena's ex, but
at least he's known.
It is, right? But it is. See, look at this. I talk so much, I talked right into our audio.
That's fine.
I'll have to set up the commercial in the next break. But okay. Let's see who else. Joe says
freaking Double A is a comic encyclopedia.
That he is.
I guess you're looking at the wall.
That he is. That he is.
Jerry says he'll check it out. Richard says Kong Godzilla was a great movie. Really enjoyed it. And the fight scenes were awesome. Okay, damn. I gotta watch this fucking movie. Hey, real quick before we get back on the air, I've been reading a lot of shit about Millie Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Was she really as bad as they say she was? A lot of people are saying that she should have been in the movie, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know.
That stuff is the same shit I heard the last movie she was in. She's fine. She's fine. I thought she was fine. She did good. She's a good actress. You can't not take that away from her. So,
okay.
But what I hear people complain about with these movies, Double A, is that they're like, more monsters, less humans, more monsters. I'm like, this is the same thing I'll say every fucking movie. I'm like, you cannot just screen up and then monsters are fighting. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's enough. It's all right. They did a really great job in this particular one, and there was other things going on. And so, you know, it's fine. She wasn't bad. I don't think she was bad at all.
Okay. Any of you guys disagree with you? Let us know.
Yeah, let me know if you're the big monster fans here.
Jerry says it felt like he ran out of ideas on The Walking Dead. Yeah, I mean, after a while, it's like it started stopping becoming zombies, and it started just becoming how sorry ass humans were.
Yeah, which we did already know. But you know, that was I think the showrunners too. Kirkman was kind of out, unless you're referring to the comic.
You know what though, man? I never thought it would happen, but after seeing some of these incidents that have happened in the last year, golly. Yeah, our race is a little bit savage.
Yeah. I'll tell you, man. I was telling people, when COVID was blowing up, I said, man, I bet it's like The Walking Dead, where it's like, the doctor tells him in season 1, like, we've all got it. Like, we've already got it. You know what I mean? So you might be right, Jerry. But Jerry, did you watch the last Blockbuster? I'm curious to know what you thought about it.
Jerry, if you really go behind the scenes, I was not a big fan of the Scott Gimple era.
Mm-hmm.
I think his era sucked ass. Mm-hmm. Angela King, I think, has done a great job of bringing it back. So
yeah.
These last 2 seasons have been really good. The Whispers, Alpha, Beta. So yeah, I thought these seasons really made up for the last couple of ones.
And what I heard, everyone was like, "Oh, after Glenn and Abraham died, like with Negan, I was out." But I was like, "Man, that was more reason to watch when you brought in such a killer villain." Like, man,
see, the thing that I think pissed me off a little bit too, and I don't know, maybe it was different from you. They would stay like on one episode for like about 4 episodes, showing everyone's point of view happening. It happened almost every season that Gimple was in.
I do remember that.
It was like, golly. It was like you would get Daryl's version, You would get Negan's version. You would get fucking Maggie's version.
Yeah.
And it's all the same episode, but you're seeing it from their points of view.
It's almost like where this person was at this time.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness.
And then it ends on like, oh, I see what you saw the explosion, then I see what I saw the explosion. And
I thought that was a little lazy writing. I thought they were trying to drag it out as much as they could.
I agree.
And it was like 4 episodes that took up 1 episode. You know, I was like, golly. So
it probably could definitely be tighter and probably could have been wrapped up a while back. You know, but I'm just hoping that they go maybe all in on this last season and give us something really, really great.
Yeah, and I feel like it's been like that again.
Yeah.
So.
They've obviously, you know, I think for a long time I felt they weren't building towards anything, and then they gave us a bunch of stuff, and now it's like, okay, well, now we have all these questions. Are you going to answer those questions?
But I like when they brought back the zombies with the Whisperers.
Yeah.
I like how they brought that aspect back again.
Agree.
So.
Agree totally.
Steve says, I remember being able to get shoe shine downtown.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah. That's awesome.
Rich says, no, I really don't think she did bad. They want these movies to be like the old movies back then.
Okay,
and I think that's pretty much easy.
Steve says, easy check. Sorry, it's a little riled up, Steve.
Bill's
wondering.
Bill's with us.
Oh, Bill's in the house. I'm having a cigar and some wine. Right on. Bill, we welcome. Theo, we appreciate you being here, man. What kind of wine are you having? Jerry says, I stopped watching when they introduced Negan. Got pretty boring and the same old, same old. I gotta disagree with you, Jerry.
That's what I'm saying, though. It was during his time when they were showing those episodes.
They were doing that, but the Negan character was so damn dynamic. And for people that were upset about those deaths, from what I understand, that's exactly how it was in the comic book. I mean, not saying that you got to do both mediums.
They said he was popular in the comics. Like issue 100, it's like a big comic in the Walking Dead lore. So,
well, what I say this, and again, I don't know how Kirkman's writing was by that point, issue 100 of the comic book, but I can tell you this: Jeffrey Dean Morgan breathes true life into that show. After that, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was crushed by that also, but it was very interesting to see the lead hero, in a sense, so defeated, and then by this character who's so insanely charismatic, literally chewing the scenery. Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan is
it's a good character,
very highly underrated character, and amazing. It did amazing. That show is never funny, and he brings a lot of humor and lightheartedness to a very dark situation, and he's a very dark character, but
he's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
There's literally clips you can go watch on YouTube that are like, if you like Negan's best lines, and there's like 2 parts. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Bill says he's next to a campfire right now.
Right on, dude. That sounds fucking awesome.
Jerry says, shoot, gotta go put the kids to bed. Later, y'all. Hope to be back next Friday.
Later, Jerry. Hope to see you then, man. Take care of business, man. We'll keep enjoying the show.
Joe says, what happened to Rick Grimes? Like, when's that coming out? Joe, I don't know. Scott Gimple just fucking drags his feet over and over.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know when that movie, Rick's going to be really old when that fucking movie starts.
We want to know. I mean, Andrew Lincoln's had a lot of time off.
Yeah.
And so hopefully he's ready to come back and kind of do some more Walking Dead stuff. Because I for one miss him. I was a Rick fan, and I want to know what's up.
You keep dragging it this long, no one's going to start caring anymore.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
They got to move on this shit.
You forget about the characters, and that's what you don't want. Let's get right back into the recording part, guys, because I went a little too long, and I ran into that. So let me make that
get into it.
Yeah, I'll bring it in. Yeah. All right. So here we go, guys. Sorry about that. You probably heard me just drop out on the audio. If you're one of our audio listeners, I missed the 30-minute mark, and so you didn't get to hear our break. As you know, every 30 minutes we take a break. We read through your comments and answer your questions. You know, we want to hear everything you have to say about all things pop culture, but especially in relation to our topic tonight, which I'm about to bring up right now. You'll hear me at the end of this 30-minute break mention a commercial. That's for our audio listeners, because I forgot to do it or didn't get to do it in the first part. So, but guys, without further ado, if our shirts weren't enough of a giveaway, I don't know, did Double A change the back here a little bit?
No,
not tonight. Okay, no need to change it. It's not just curious. I always like to look at that aspect, but I know you've got plenty of stuff over here that I can film on TikTok later, because I forgot to do that too. But I'll definitely get to it, guys. It's been talked about for years. Back in 2015,
I didn't even think this was real.
Yeah, in 2015, a movie came out that people had been waiting for their entire lives. These characters right here. If you're a DC guy, we happen to be Marvel guys, but we also love DC. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. My Superman is my all-time favorite character. I'm rocking the man right here on my wristband. I wear it as often as I can. This is made by my father-in-law.
Now, we may shit on Batman a little bit. But.
Yeah, we do shit on Batman a little bit. The comic book version, but we love the Batman animated series Batman. Like
That's like
a beloved
almost our number one cartoon. Almost.
Exactly. So and we love the Dark Knight, the Nolan version. So and we love the Keaton version. And the truth is, we love a lot of Batman. It's just we just get heat for what we say about Batman. I don't know. Anywho, if you know, the movie was originally going to be directed by Zack Snyder. He had did Man of Steel. He had did Batman versus Superman.
Pretty much his hand was all over this. He was the guy for DC. Him and Christopher Nolan.
And he became famous off of the movie 300, based on the famous Frank Miller graphic novel, which is or comic series, which became a graphic novel, which is fantastic. And he pretty much did it almost like panel for panel. Yeah. And it was kick-ass and it was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Gerard Butler's Leonidas. So that shot Zack Snyder's stock to the top. So then it was like he was getting tapped for certain big projects. He got tapped for Watchmen. I loved it.
I did too. Yeah.
It was almost also.
I think his ending was actually better than the comic book.
Yeah. It was almost also panel for panel. You know what I mean? Like, of course, Alan Moore hated it because he hates everything. He's Alan Moore. But it was a very.
I don't think he hated it. He just said, like, after League of Extraordinary, to start taking his name off.
Don't put his name on stuff.
Yeah, don't put name. And he won't watch anything that's his.
So he probably hasn't even seen it.
No, probably not.
So that's the writer of Watchmen. But anyway, I thought it was a very fine film. I thought it was a very good adaptation of the comic. And there's a lot too.
Dave Gibbons did say he liked it.
Right.
The co-creator of Watchmen the artist did say he liked it.
So Zack Snyder obviously has clout. So then he gets tapped for the DC's going to do their big.
Yeah, finally. Finally, they're going to start all over again. They're finally going to start competing with Marvel. And they tap him to do Superman.
Man of Steel.
Everyone's fucking excited. I am. Superman's back finally. Since like 2006, there hadn't been a new movie of Superman.
Yeah. Not since the Brandon Routh kind of, flopola in a sense. People didn't like it, didn't respond to it, which was supposed to be a direct,
follow to
the Donner version.
Yeah.
So anywho, moving forward, he does Man of Steel. I guess not really loved by a lot of people. I liked it. I own it. It was fine. It was a different take. This is what I don't think people often don't get. It's another director's vision. It's another take. You've seen it all before. You've seen the ship land in the field. You've seen all that stuff. Everyone knows Superman by heart. So this guy was doing something different. I was like, this is fine. Now, with that, there's going to come some things that people don't like. You know what I mean? There's a very controversial kind of ending with Zod and Superman and Man of Steel. Which
I thought was a mistake.
I'm on the fence about it. I guess it.
Why? To me, it's like, why do you always have to kill him?
Right?
Why? Like before Heath Ledger offed himself, he was supposed to be in the third Batman movie. So I mean, you don't always have to kill the villains.
Yeah.
And Zod is like one of the best, to me, most underrated Superman villains there is. So
Agree.
That kind of sucked.
Yeah.
So, and everyone's like, everyone's like, man, he killed him. Well, he did that in part 2 too.
Right. They just didn't focus on it so much.
I'm like, they didn't just go down there and break their backs, know?
Yeah. They were alive, but just down there.
They can't get back up. I mean, they're gonna die.
Where did everyone think they went? And they went to hell. That's where they went.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I mean,
if I had the power, I'd cut in Samuel L. Jackson right now. Yes, I hope they die. I hope they burn in hell.
Yeah.
So guys. I mean. And again, for years, what I would hear about Superman, AA, what a Boy Scout he is, a big blue Boy Scout. Oh, he's boring, blah, blah. He doesn't, I want to see a Superman that cuts loose. I want to see Superman that kills. Well, then we get to Superman that kills and everyone flips their wig. I'm like, this is just a version. It doesn't take, you have to see it, you have to view it as its own medium. It doesn't take away, number one, they redid some of the origin, you know what I mean? Like his, Pa Kent dies, but in a different way. And now that I did not agree with. I thought that death was very stupid in Man of Steel.
It made no sense.
Again, we always talk about this. The key thing about Pa Kent, if you are going to kill him, I don't like when he's dead. I prefer him to be alive as a father figure throughout Clark's life. But if you're going to kill him and he dies of something that Clark, as Superman can't control, can't stop, which is a heart attack. Makes more sense. When you have him die by something I could clearly have the power to prevent, and I can move at the speed of fucking,
where no one's going to be able to see me.
Right. It doesn't make any sense for me to just let you die. Like, that's not going to happen. So that was very dumb.
Russell Crowe, though. Loved Russell Crowe.
Fantastic. All the Krypton stuff was very cool.
Love Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon was great. I'm watching him in Boardwalk Empire right now, and he is very icy.
Amy
Adams. I love Amy Adams.
Yeah.
Great Lois Lane, I think. Gorgeous also. Diane Lane, wonderful Ma Kent.
Yeah.
Man of Steel is very good. Moving forward, the next one, Batman v Superman. This one gets
rushed
a lot
it too much. You just rushed it.
So there is also an ultimate cut I haven't seen. It's on HBO Max right now, but I have heard from what I've in my research for this that it's a more coherent movie, and maybe what it is that Zack Snyder can't work within like a certain time frame. He's trying to tell a big story. We've been guilty of some really long episodes here, especially recently, guys. So we certainly know what it is when you're trying to direct a narrative and you cannot contain your point to 2 hours.
But see, the thing is like there's too many chiefs in WB, Warner Brothers, where in Marvel it's just Kevin Feige.
That's right. He's the man.
He knows where he's going with this. WB, Warner Brothers, it's like they tell Zack Snyder what he can do, what he can't do.
Right.
So yeah, that gets frustrating.
Totally.
And then they broke another I guess sin in Batman versus Superman with Batman shooting people. Actually holding a gun in his hand first off. That was very controversial too.
If you have a guy that's already kind of breaking with tradition of these characters, Superman killing, whatever, these darker films or whatever, it's like, okay, you should already know he's breaking with what the norm is of these characters, which for some I would imagine should have been a welcome thing. I feel like the same people that would say, hey, I want this dark Superman, I want these dark superheroes, they get them and then they're like, oh, it's not like the comic book. I'm like, well, it's not gonna be both.
It's not always gonna be the comic.
Yeah, you don't get sunshine and rainbows Superman in this dark movie. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? I think they're probably cold by now. Okay. Let me check.
All right.
So moving forward, guys. So what happens is in 2015, we're going to get the Justice League movie, the one that people have been waiting for, right? Like, okay,
so real quick, Batman versus Superman, it kind of gave a hint of how Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman can work, because Wonder Woman was in this one. So that was very cool seeing Wonder Woman. And
she pops in, that iconic music plays. I thought that was a very, very cool part of Batman v Superman.
Now, the thing I didn't agree with was that, first off, it had Doomsday, which it should have been its own trilogy. Mm-hmm. And number two, you already did the death of Superman.
And that Doomsday looked like complete shit.
Yeah. But the death of Superman, I was like, man, really? You're already killing him already? And then, the world being in love with him, warning him, it just didn't feel like he did enough. Yeah. Or the world would have loved him that much, Yeah.
It was kind of like he was first kind of on the scene in a way.
Yeah, and people really didn't even trust him when he first came out. Yeah. So I don't know how, all of a sudden the world started mourning him.
Another aspect of that movie that sucks in these movies is the casting of Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg is the absolute fucking worst.
I was hoping we were not going to talk about that guy, because that guy just blows.
Of any incarnation of Lex Luthor's I've seen,
oh my goodness!
Even in the very, very, very new incarnation of Lex Luthor in Superman and Lois show, all better.
John Cryer, right? No, he's in Supergirl.
No, even that one is better. Even John Cryer is better. Listen, Jesse Eisenberg is the worst Lex Luthor I've ever seen. Terrible casting on that.
He looks sorry. He sounds sorry.
They should have made that guy the Riddler or something like that.
Yeah, you know what? He actually looked like the Riddler.
Yeah, you just need somebody better. Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville is great.
He was so good.
Gene Hackman, obviously great. Kevin Spacey was a good Lex Luthor. He didn't get enough. I mean,
I know he's persona non grata now, but I mean, he was fine in that movie too, though. He was fine. So
he was a good Lex. He reminded me of the Hackman Lex.
Well, that's what you say he was going for.
Yeah. So spot on. I mean, good shit. Yeah. But man, that casting could have gone a bunch of other great ways, and there would have been a better Lex.
Guys, what do you think? You think Jesse's good as Lex? Are we just being stupid? What do y'all think about him? He sucks balls.
Yeah. So a lot of people hate Man of Steel. I don't. You?
I'm iffy. I'm still iffy. I want, what? But for me, is I love the character. I was so pumped up about it that I think I'm just putting it too much higher on the pedestal.
And you know what I've heard too? People say, I saw it, I didn't like it, I never went back. but people say it aged well. They're like, people that rewatched it, like before all this, were like, I wanted to get ready. And they were like, man, you know what? It's better than I thought. I'm hearing that about it. That happens. I need to rewatch it. I haven't rewatched it beginning to end in a while, and I own it.
It's hard because I think that Christopher Reeve for me is the perfect iteration of Superman.
Yeah,
everything that he is, it's just that first part.
Yeah.
Movie 1.
Yeah.
I think that's what everything Superman should be.
And you know, I will say this about that Double A, because I love that movie, and I know it's almost blasphemy to say anything negative about it, but it does have its very hokey parts. Sure, that shit with Lois and the flying in the air, I hate that shit. I'm like, and you know what? To me, she's not a particularly great Lois.
No.
You know,
I agree too. I mean, she gets some of the funny stuff, like, you know, Lois isn't a good typist. She's not a good speller.
Yeah.
You know, so that stuff she got, you know.
And it's the 70s, and I know, I know, and it's like, you know, it's kind of the first big dip into the superhero pool. You're going with the man. You start with the man, and it's like, all right, but damn, Christopher Reeve was great. He looked great. He acted great. Gene Hackman is great.
Perry. I even like Perry.
Yeah, Perry is great. That's
Fox.
That's an iconic movie. I love it. I'm just saying, you know, there still has its things. Okay, so Batman v Superman. Where do you stand?
He's dead. Superman's dead. Boom. Does Batman have a vision?
Yes, he has he falls asleep at his computer and sees the Flash.
Or he feels like he owes Superman. Like he needs to put a team together, right? Some shit like that, right?
Well, pretty much he's guilty over the fact that because he was wrong about how he thought about Superman. In Batman v Superman, because of the destruction in the city during the fight in Man of Steel, that he's like, this guy's dangerous. He needs to be stopped. Plus, he's getting, you know, misinformation and getting fed all this shit or whatever, and he wants to take him down or whatever. So this part is meant to be, I think, really cool because it's meant to kind of play on the whole the Dark Knight Returns stuff. You get Batman in the armor,
which I love.
You know, that was cool.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, guys. Whoever directed the fucking trailers, they should have get that guy to direct the damn movie because those trailers make you geeked up, man. I mean, you got him there. You know, do you bleed? You know what I mean? You will. It's like that's so fucking iconic. Like that shit was cool or whatever. So the buildup was kind of done poorly. Anyway, like we said, at the end, he dies. Superman dies. Well, before that, let me hear it. Where do you stand on Batman v Superman? Love it or hate it?
Again, it was mixed.
They're mixed. Okay.
Because like I said, I liked it because it was seeing all three of them interact.
Right.
So that was always cool.
And you get a little glimpse of the Flash too.
You do.
Batman has a vision. You see the Flash.
What I didn't like though is just the Doomsday, the death of Superman already, the Lex Luthor.
Did you hate the Martha thing that everybody hated?
I thought it was stupid.
Okay.
I didn't like. I laughed. I thought that was funny.
Okay.
Like, I was like, oh, okay. You know,
I had to admit,
all right.
I never dawned on me that both their moms were named Martha.
Me neither.
Like I was like,
maybe that's why I started laughing.
Never really realized that.
Maybe that's why I started laughing.
You know. But again, I didn't feel like it was like the worst possible device to get him to stop at that point. I was like, oh yeah, that's something I never thought of. But whatever. Again, maybe not the best thing to move on anyway, but again, okay, like I said, I like Man of Steel. On this one, I'm like Double A. I'm like, you know what I mean? It could have been better for sure. I would like to see this Ultimate Edition.
It should have been better.
Yeah.
You know,
we should definitely watch the Ultimate Edition.
But Doomsday's that villain that, man, you need the League there with them, you know, that
it would have been a great, maybe a part one. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Doomsday deserved better than this, honestly. Yeah. And he needed to look better. Why? Just put some bones on the motherfucker. Or have him in that suit, that jumpsuit that he has in the beginning. You know, something.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like you just wasted that whole death of Superman. That could have been so fucking climatic. You could have did just like Marvel did with the 22 and could have ended it with Superman's death, and it would have been epic.
Even then, you could have put that in the middle, had the return of Superman.
That too.
Then you can then you can still.
I just feel like
Darkseid locked and loaded. You know what I mean? You can have Darkseid locked and loaded.
Yeah. So then we get Justice League. Finally going to put everyone together. Finally, we're going to have Aquaman's, Flash, you know, Batman's, Superman, Wonder Woman, and for some reason, Cyborg. For some reason.
Right. I thought that was an interesting choice as well because I was
he's a fucking Teen Titan.
Yeah. That's where I knew him from. I would watch a little bit of that with my nephew.
You're not a Justice League member, man.
Yeah,
you're a fucking Titan.
Yeah, my stepson Jeremy would always say, he's like, oh, I like Cyborg because from Teen Titans, whatever. And my nephew would watch Teen Titans too, so I would see.
So that was my gripe with that one. I was like, fuck.
Well, let's back up a little bit, Double A. So here's what happens, guys. This movie is deciding to get made. Obviously, Zack Snyder at the helm, going to lead, in a sense, the biggest team. You know,
it is.
It's bigger than the Avengers. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's you know, he's going to get Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg. Finally, this movie's going to get made. Well, this is what I heard, because I want clarification. So we all know that Zack Snyder had a very horrible tragedy happen in his life. That his daughter committed suicide, and that he left the film. But before that happened, and there's not taking anything away from that. That is extremely, extremely tragic, and I totally get his move to step away.
Yeah.
But before that happened, they said that he had given the script to WB, to Warner Brothers, and they hated it. And they were like, "This needs to be lighter. We've gotten a lot of negative shit from Man of Steel and Batman
from the previous.
We need rewrites." So in comes
Joss Whedon
who was from the Avengers.
Super hot from the Avengers. Okay, the Avengers just killed it at the box office. I mean, you're talking about, oh man, if you're gonna get someone to finish the movie, Joss Whedon's gonna be the guy.
That cat costume blew though.
It did
in that movie,
but the movie felt big, right?
Yeah, it sure did. It
was Avengers felt big.
It's definitely a great movie,
right? So they're probably thinking, all right, he's going to do this thing with Justice League too. He's going to make it so much more lighter. It's going to be a fucking fun movie. What'd you think?
It comes out that Snyder steps away because of what happened.
Yes.
Josh takes full reins,
and it kind of sounded like he was going to be finishing off the movie. Like I never heard that Zach had actually finished the whole damn movie.
No, yeah, you know? it was 90% done except for visual effects and I think some music.
I thought Joss Whedon was just going to come in, write the ending, and then that was it. Until I heard this, you know, a few years ago that he just redid the whole movie.
And we don't know. There may have been. He may have gone in to do that, and they may have said, "No, we now he's gone. We got you here. Do something else." Guys, literally the color of the movie changes, if you can believe that. The movie is like a different color. It literally is. I've seen side-by-side shots. You can look it up too. It's like a much brighter movie, which doesn't necessarily hurt it. The music is all changed. It's vastly shorter, all different scenes. This movie comes out, the Justice League, and it is not well received. It is just hated. People hated it. They did not like it. They were like, "What the fuck is this?" Blah blah. It was just kind of like a bomb. Like people did not like it. I saw it once. I thought that it was like,
I was surprised.
I did not hate it like everyone else did, but I was not in love with it. I wasn't like, I'm gonna go buy it. It's
it was
so
fun
badass.
to see him. That I think it was like at one time they were happy because it passed Deadpool.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, you're happy because it passed Deadpool? Like you should not be happy about that. You know, Deadpool should not even be in the rearview mirror.
Deadpool was rated R, so it was
not just that, but that should not even be in the same stratosphere
as the Justice League.
It should not be.
So I remember telling people there were scenes I really liked in it. There were, again, the scene at the monument when, you know, Kal-El faces the Justice League, which is almost identical in the new cut.
Pretty much.
But again, what some people call a toxic fandom, I won't say that, but it is the power of the internet. People got online and they started to say there's
released a Snyder Cut.
Released the Snyder Cut.
Which I was like, yeah, well, how good can this be? I was like,
yeah. People knew it was out there. Enough people knew that it was 90% done. They wanted to talk. They wanted to see the version that Zack Snyder had initially envisioned. Everyone, even Warner Brothers, like, this will never happen. This will never see light day. What's done is done, and that's it. Like it's like no going back. You know what I mean? It's like Dez caught it. Like upon reviewing the footage, he did catch it, but it's like it doesn't matter. The game's over. Well, wrong. I don't know.
So many people.
I mean, it was like 180 million or some shit like that, some crazy number or whatever, signed this petition. I don't know if that was the only thing, but there were other things at play. And basically they decide, hey, guess what? This is going to be a thing. We're going to release the Snyder Cut.
And I think for them, they saw it like much less costly if they just show on HBO Max. You know, fix it up a little bit, show on HBO Max, whatever happens. Hey, all right.
We heard different things. We heard there's going to be, you know, it's going to be in parts. You're going to hear, it's going to come release over 4 days.
It's supposed to be parts.
Yeah, you're going to see like an hour a day. They're going to release it in parts. You watch it that way. Then it was back to like, no, it's going to come out all at once.
Which I couldn't believe it was 4 hours. I was like,
yeah, that was the main thing. 4 hours, an epic going to come out. Right? We're like, holy shit. Okay, he had a lot of stuff done or whatever, right? So
but then I had to remind myself. I was like, well, Endgame is like 3.5 hours. So
yeah. Pretty much, right? Yeah. So what day is it, Double A? March 21st or whatever it is?
Yeah, it was a weird day. It was like on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it was like I think it was a Thursday. But this is just a couple weeks ago, guys. It comes out. The Zack Snyder's Justice League. And we watched it. Yeah. And that's what we're talking about today because the fandom got what they wanted, truly, and justice for all. Because the Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut came out. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We took a long time, almost a 30-minute block here, just to get to the beginning of the movie. But that is what the subject is tonight, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Our thoughts on it. We watched it, what we think, everything. It's been out already now enough for there to be several podcasts about it. I've watched a few, and there's video breakdowns all over YouTube.
But we're sitting around here. We want to talk about it with you guys.
Hear about what you guys think about it, too.
Because you're our friends. Yeah. So we want to hear it.
But Double A, I mean, let's not. We both have notes because you need notes, guys, because it's a 4-hour movie. I watched it essentially twice. My first viewing, I watched it. I think the day it came out, on my phone.
Okay, so two people that I truly respect. One is my friend at work, name is Adrian, and CM. Now they're like, okay, watch it. You know, it goes by super quick. My friend was telling me that he thought the first 3 hours were good, and then the last hour dragged. So I was like, oh, okay. I thought that was weird, right? So I'm looking at it, and the first hour kills me. I was like, man, this is kind of fucking dragging, you know? And I turned it off after an hour, right? And I was like, and then, you know, CM texted me. He's like, hey, man, we should go deep into Justice League. And I was like, man, I don't know. I've seen the first hour. It's, man, it fucking, you know, I'm not impressed at all. And he was like, oh, okay, well, let me know what you think. And I was like, I texted CM back. I was like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yes,
let's do it. Yeah, let's deep dive. And if I hate it, I'll fucking just, you know, shit all over it. But before I pushed that send button, I was like, if I do this, I'm gonna have to commit to seeing the fucking movie. And that 1 hour just like really threw me off.
I get you.
So I pushed send. I was like, okay, I'm going to commit to this.
I almost lost him, guys.
And
I was like,
it took me 2 days before I went back to Justice League. Because first off, okay, so the first hour it's kind of back. It kind of shows us Bruce talking to Aquaman, trying to get him to join in.
That scene is much longer.
Aquaman's just, you know, being an asshole. No, you know, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna help you. You know. And then it goes to Diana with her stuff with the kids and everything. You know, the terrorists that are just blowing shit up just to blow shit up. Which I was like, okay.
Double M. I hope you don't mind. I stopped you throughout here. Is that Roose Bolton?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that's Roose Bolton from Game of Thrones. Is the main terrorist?
Yeah, which I thought was like, wow, okay, he's in this too.
Okay, so some of the things I didn't catch on my first viewing, but I caught on my second viewing is like when this isn't in the Joss Whedon cut, the original cut, 2015. But when she's throwing these guys against the wall, their fucking brains are splattering on the wall.
Yeah, I would imagine their bodies are just broken.
Like it's extremely violent. Like I was like, all right, she's killing these motherfuckers. Like he didn't hold back on that. Like, all right. No. The next thing is that like there were a couple things I had issue with. And I don't know if it was exactly the same in the first one. I think it's a little bit different because I think I did see something side by side, but she does that move she does now where she can clasp the bracelets together. And
shockwaves.
She uses that on him, creates like essentially all this property damage, endangers people outside, versus just like zipping to him and like bend the gun down and like boom, knock him out or whatever. I mean, at that point where she'd already killed most of these guys.
Maybe I'm gonna just try to stop him real quick.
Okay.
As quick as I can.
Okay.
Because this son of a bitch is just gonna start shooting.
Yeah, because he'd unloaded a whole clip pretty much. She managed to block all of those, you know, at these kids. But I don't know, it just felt like a very like unnatural move. Like I was like, what the hell, why did she go for that? But
yeah, I know.
I think I wrote that down in my notes, so that's why I wanted to talk about that.
So she saves him, you know, it's showing her story. You know, it shows Aquaman being a humanitarian, you know, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know?
Another big thing, right away when it starts, this threw me off. It says it right when the movie starts. It says this movie is presented in the 4:3 aspect ratio. You know, this is the director's original representation of the movie. So what people said was that Zack Snyder filmed the movie for IMAX. So what I'm telling you guys, if that doesn't make any sense to you, is that when you're watching it on HBO Max, it has the black bars on the sides. So right when I don't like that. So right away I was like, what the fuck is this? Why is it in a square? It should be like, you know, cinematic looking. But I also heard that he said he shot it that way because a lot of the characters move up and down. They fly, so they go up. And then there's a lot of like the bigger characters like Steppenwolf for swinging the axes, like in these overhead swiping movements. So that's another reason or whatever. But I don't know because some people also have said that in some of the trailers, it's in the correct aspect ratio. So that they're saying he wanted so much to differentiate from Whedon's version that he purposely cinched it up. Did it bother you at all?
No, actually it didn't.
At very first it did, but then as I progressed through the movie, I completely forgot about it.
Honestly, Sam, with stuff like that, I really don't even notice.
Okay.
I know Dark Knight was like that too. I didn't really fucking notice, or Dark Knight Rises, I didn't notice. So I'm not really noticing. I'm more into just seeing what I'm seeing.
Got you.
Was Flash in this first hour when he's saving Iris?
I don't know if that's I don't think that's in this first hour. I don't.
So then it goes to the Amazons, right? The Amazonians.
Yeah.
And the mother box is fucking waking up. What did you think of that part?
So I
thought it was really long. It's a cool battle scene.
Yeah.
But man, I thought it kind of went too long.
Well, my first note is kind of before all this. This movie starts with kind of the end of Batman v Superman,
right?
Where we see Superman dying. He's been stabbed with like a kryptonite thing.
The screams.
And he's screaming, and you're seeing
and it's going all over the world.
So right away, to me, when I see something visual like that, my mind is like, this is going to come in later, right? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like it. I was like, what is this? Like,
really?
The screams are like going all over the world. I was like, okay. But then they explain later that it woke up the mother boxes. But I didn't like that. I was like, this is kind of a little bit hokey or whatever.
Well, I would kind of imagine his voice would shatter. That's why I'm like, in the very first Superman movie, when he screams over Lois, I'm like, I tell my wife, I hope nobody was like 5 miles around him.
Oh, right.
Their fucking heads would have blown up.
Yeah. In the Christopher Reeve version. Right. But then I started thinking about it. And I was like, when Superman dies, essentially hope dies. You know what I mean? And Lois loses out, but the world also loses out. So there's more to it than that. And guys, we are quickly approaching our next 30-minute break, and I see there's already a shit ton of comments, so I can't wait to read them with you guys. But yeah, so I don't know if we get Flash in that first part one or whatever.
Notes
the part one is called like 4. Yeah, the part one is called like I don't think so, Batman or something like that. And it's basically what Aquaman tells Bruce Wayne when he goes there to say, hey, I'm forming a team, whatever. Now here's my other thought on this. Why do you send Bruce Wayne? You have Wonder Woman. It's a man. Why wouldn't you send the really hot Amazonian queen to go? He doesn't know Aquaman what he looks like. I mean, but not that matters. But it's like it's a man. You've heard it. The rumors you've heard is that a man comes on the king's side. Send her. Maybe she's going to be much more convincing than you.
Maybe he didn't believe that he is that he can control the water and everything.
Okay. Maybe. Interesting. And also, I think she would have had a much easier trek than he would have because she could fly and she's super strong. So I was kind of like, that was kind of an interesting decision, like for you to go. I mean, like that's in the original cut too, that Batman goes, but
he's just supposed to be the Nick Fury.
Yeah, I like the exchange, what I mean? But at the same time, I was like, that's not really your, that's not the strategizing Batman. Now, what I will say is that we are seeing the really good Bruce Wayne that Ben Affleck is.
Yes.
He's a great Bruce Wayne. I don't hate this Batman at all. Guys, break time. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Guys, if you're joining us on Facebook Live, you know that we don't go anywhere. I just say that for the audio listeners because they hear a commercial break at that point. I got to remember when I'm putting this episode together afterwards to put the break right here at the second 30-minute block. Instead, I usually put it at the first. Guys, but let's get to your comments. We're talking about the Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Which for apparently all of comicdom created Justice for All. So double A, let me scroll up here.
Yeah, we got
a shit ton of comments. So we want to hear what people thought.
Right there, right where Aaron's at.
Okay, let me go a little bit right there. Wait a minute. No, I'm gonna go down a little bit. Sorry.
Right there. Aaron was talking about Negan, saying I find him gorgeous.
Yes, that's my aunt Erin. Aunt Erin says yes, she finds him gorgeous. I think you're talking about Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Yeah, yes, she was at that
totally
time.
I totally agree with you. I had the pleasure of meeting the man, and he's quite dashing. Bill says, hashtag Denny Duquette. One of his movies? I'm not sure. Fill me in, Theo, if you're still here with us. Joe says, go ahead, Double A.
Grimes comes back, I'll come back.
There you go.
Okay. Bill says the other side of Negan. And then Bill says shirts, ?
Bill, if you're still here with us, yes, I will have shirts. They're not in my possession right now. Hopefully by tomorrow, I will have them in my possession. They will be $20 a piece. There is no haggling. Apparently, there's not apparently, but there is no haggling on those prices because we had to fit the bill. And so we're putting everything back into our podcast pot because we want to buy a new equipment. We want to buy a new webcam so that we can maybe like zoom in and like maybe pan. I don't know if that's possible. We're trying to get new equipment. So we hope that you guys will please understand on the $20 price tag. That's what it is. Let's see here.
Gotta love all DC and Marvel. Yes. The Dark Knight, badass, Bill says. Right Crystal Sanchez says all about Batman, Superman.
Hi, Crystal.
Always saving that hoe. You know how I feel about him, Charles. Bill says saving that hoe. Joe says freaking BVS extended cut is great.
Okay, need to check out that. I want to see that extended cut. Crystal, do you mean Lois? Is Lois the hoe? Come on, I love Lois.
Steve says I hope they burn in the hill, motherfucking. Dark film unthinkable with Samuel J. Because the world is a vampire.
That's right.
Kevin
Good shit.
Joe says Eisenberg tries his own shit. I didn't mind him that much, but yeah, the animated series is my favorite Lex, which we forgot. We left out Clancy Brown.
Great voice. You know what? Shaving bald would probably still be a great Lex. Yeah.
Crystal says I like as the blue bird in Rio.
Jesse Eisenberg? Is he in that? Okay, maybe that's what we're talking. You know what? I've seen Rio and I liked it, so I probably did like the performance in that.
Joe says I love Man of Steel. Really like Cavill.
We love Henry Cavill
too, and I hope he's not going anywhere.
I would say the number 2 Superman after Reeves.
Yes.
I would say that.
Rich says I think Cavill is a great Superman. He fits the part very well. It's like Robert Downey being Iron Man. He just fits as Superman.
Great actor too.
Joe says he loved how Man of Steel led into BVS. Joe says you're not a man. Men are brave. Do you feel that's fear? Is that the counselor?
That might be. Yeah, that might be. That's right. That's good shit.
Bill says we need a new Lex like Gene Hackman.
I agree. Gene Hackman is retired, he says.
And he's way older.
Yeah.
He's like 90. Joe says if you have not watched the Ultimate Edition, you need to.
Okay.
Joe says, remember, Doomsday always comes back stronger from what beat him before. Yeah, but Joe, the thing is that it's just they did the death of Superman. That's what I got pissed off at.
Yeah. That could have been, you could have got 3 movies out of that.
You really could.
Really. I mean, and you could have just built it up, you know what I mean? So
Joe says Cyborg is part of the GL in a lot of the animated movies. So now was that after this?
I think he might. I don't know. Joe, are you referring to the animated series?
No, he's not in the animated series. I think he's talking about like the movies.
Oh, okay.
Now, was that after though the Justice League stuff?
Okay, so 2015 was when the original cut came out. Was it after that, Joe? Yeah, let us know.
Richard says not a big fan of Cyborg. They make him the key of the movie. They need to bring Green Lantern in. Yes, and that's what we're going to go into a little bit later, Richard. I agree totally. Joe says Joss butchered it. I was embarrassed as a DC fan. Hard to justify. I did buy it.
That's all right.
He still bought it though. He still bought it.
I think I own Iron Man too. So you know what I mean. Which I know you like.
And then Bill says Cyborg, the one with John Claude.
Man, you know what? That's a good movie, deal. I like that Jean-Claude Van Damme Cyborg.
Joe says the one thing I liked from Josh was Batman bringing Lois and the race at the end.
And we had this discussion too, so we want to talk about that scene as well.
And then Joe, there's something for you, Sam. Des did catch it, damn it.
I just wanted to bring that up. I'm just saying. Yeah. The film doesn't lie, guys.
Richard says Richard.
Richard, I'm sorry.
Yeah. The first hour did drag and I was losing interest. Yeah, that was my first dislike of the movie. The way it was shown, it just made it feel like you're watching a homemade film, if that makes sense. I did not like it either.
It fucked with me in the beginning. I was like, what is this? This bothers me. But then once I got absorbed in the movie, then it went away.
Affleck says
Affleck is the bomb in Phantoms,
in Phantoms.
Definitely.
I have a hate relationship with Ezra Miller. Rick says.
Rick, Ezra Miller. Okay.
I liked him in this one. It's fine.
You know,
I can get where a lot of people find it weird though.
I liked him in the Harry Potter stuff, and I actually thought he was okay in this as the Flash. I don't know a lot about the Flash.
Me neither.
I didn't watch the Flash show.
All I really know is from what I saw in Justice League, the animated series, and he was kind of like this one.
Yeah,
he was a Joker.
Right.
In this one,
I know a little bit of that too, and not saying that either. I kind of like that I don't know about him because I treated this as itself, and I was like, "Oh, this is fine." He's like the Peter Parker-ish.
Well, like
guy.
I said,
that's how I took
from
it.
what we saw in the Justice League cartoon, he was always that Joker. So.
Okay. So I was fine with him, but I totally get you, Rick. If you don't like Ezra Miller, totally.
Crystal says to you,
yes, her about Lois. Yeah, okay. I mean, she not. I don't think she a hoe, but you know what I mean. Like, but we will get into that, Crystal, because apparently there is something going on that was behind the scenes of what was the movies were gonna go, but we'll talk about that a little bit. So,
Joe says Lois is the true kryptonite.
Always.
Rick says screw Snyder Justice League. Let's talk Godzilla versus that pinche Chango. Okay.
Rick, dude, we definitely do want to talk some of that stuff with you. When we get a chance, man, we won't get to see you at Mario's, whatever, but maybe at the next stop that we get to. But yeah, man, I know you loved the movie. Thank you for posting those pics in the group. Great stuff. How was the drink? Did you like it? I saw it. We can't talk about it because
Double A can't talk about it. You can't talk.
Yeah, but Double A hasn't seen it yet. You know what I mean? But you know, we're not gonna. You know, we're not talking about it tonight.
Trust me, this ain't one of those movies where I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna die if you don't.
Right.
You might know who's gonna win.
Right.
You know?
Spoiler alert. My nephew was spoiling it for me like all week long. He had all this stuff he knew already. I was like, how did he know that?
Joe says the quote was Batman kicking Superman's ass. Oh, the one we were reading earlier.
Oh, I don't like that.
Joe says Iron Man 2 is good. Damn it. Okay, Joe. You might be on your own now. I can't speak for CM.
I mean, I don't particularly revisit Iron Man 2 ever. So, or have I in the last 5 years? You know, so I'm going to say it's probably not that good. But Crystal says she made Superman die. She's a total hoe. Fight me.
Damn.
Lois, the total. Man, not Amy Adams. I love Amy Adams. Yeah, I don't know if I can fight you. I can't fight you after what I'm going to reveal later in the episode, Crystal, if you stick with us.
Joe says, Double A, you would love the Justice League animated movies. I know they always kill it when it comes to animated movies. Always.
And they're all on HBO Max now, right? Yeah.
Gabriel, he's in the.
What up, Gabe?
Is this the Avengers chat?
You have come to the right place. Okay, yeah. All right. We call them the DC Avengers.
We can't just get along here.
Yeah, it's that. Okay, I know we're decked out in the gear. All right, it was for the episode.
When we see, we have the man Stan Lee.
Right, as always, yeah. So, Gabe, did you watch Snyder Cut? I want to say you dedicate 4 hours to that. You could have got a lot of work done, I'm sure. Want to hear your thoughts, man?
Yeah. Okay. Let's get back into it, guys.
Let's get back into it. It's a lot of movie, and we're not gonna go hour by hour because it will take forever.
Guys, we're gonna crack a beer open, take a piss.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the things that we liked and didn't like. That's what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk about maybe the high points and what low points.
And keep bringing in your comments.
And again, I did listen to another podcast. So I don't like to do this sometimes. I don't like to hear other opinions before I do our episode and talk about my opinion. But I did listen to another podcast and I watched a video that Jerry actually posted, who was in here in the chat earlier, about a guy that's breaking it down. And what I liked about his breakdown, even though he was completely shitting on the movie, what I liked about his breakdown was that he was showing a lot of stuff side by side. And I hadn't really revisited the Joss Whedon cut in a while. So it was neat for me to see the parts that I was like, oh, okay, this is exactly how it was different, or this is what was added or bulked up, or whatever you want to call it. But let's get right back into the recording audio version as well, so we can continue talking about all things, guys, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Guys, thank you for hanging out. If you just heard the quick break right there, we went ahead and read some comments. We're inviting you every Friday night to come and join us live on Facebook, where we invite you to join the conversation, be a part of the podcast, give us your opinions and your thoughts. We read the comments every 30 minutes. And then at the end and at the beginning, also, we read you guys' comments and have you join the conversation with us. But in between that, we're talking about the topic of the week, which happens to be Zack Snyder's Justice League. What did you guys think? Where did you stand on it? What were did anybody do like a watch through of like Whedon's cut before the cut of The Snyder Cut, because I for one couldn't remember. Did you?
No,
did you remember?
No.
I did not rewatch it.
No,
I didn't. And I thought about it. I was like,
now,
I should.
There
watch,
was certain parts that I remember. Obviously, Bruce talking to Aquaman and Diana and Bruce talking. And little stuff like that. But man, after that first hour, I say that this was almost Snyder's.
Okay.
It was just different. A lot of stuff that was different.
During our promoting this week, through our Instagram, that'll go from Instagram to our Facebook, and then I'll probably put it in our Facebook/Instagram story. There's an image I saw. I don't know how true it is. I'll say that now, disclaimer, but it pretty much shows you side by side how many minutes of Snyder's we saw in the original cut, and it's only like 30 minutes, and then the rest was Joss Whedon, and then it shows you how much Snyder's we're going to get in the obviously the long cut. I think it's like 4 hours and 2 minutes, but very long. Okay, so double A. Let's zoom forward.
Yeah, so I was looking over
the first hour, and then
well, first off, I was looking over my notes. I think that Flash thing did happen because I was like really impressed. Okay, and I didn't have notes. This is like from hours 2 to 4. And man, I loved it. And somehow CM, I knew that was Iris. Right. I don't know how. I just I knew that was Iris right away, which I was like, oh, cool. They're bringing her in too. So that was awesome. Yeah,
Iris West, the love interest of the Flash. You know what? I knew that too, and I will say this: I learned that from my brief encounters with the Flash show through when they did that Infinite Crisis. My only time ever watching the Flash show or any of the Batwoman show and the Supergirl show was when they did this big crossover of the shows, what they call it's created by Greg Berlanti, the Berlantiverse. He's kind of like the Feige of the shows. They did this big Infinite Crisis, which is a famous DC storyline where they crossed over all the shows, and they even brought in, like characters from like the '89 Batman, Alexander Knox. They brought back the Brandon Ruth Superman, and they put him in the Kingdom Come outfit, which was very badass. Very cool. They had him right alongside the Tyler Hoechlin Superman, who now has the Superman and Lois show. So I thought that was going to be really cool. They even did something really neat, which was giving you a live action version of Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne. Yes. And they have him kind
almost
of
like Kingdom Come
in the Kingdom Come type armor, and he kind of is a bad guy. So there's so many neat things in that Infinite Crisis, but it is very corny and very cheesy. So that I didn't like. But the Flash kid that played Flash in there, very cool costume. Very well acted.
And even Urza Miller came out.
In
the Flash show.
He came out. He did an appearance in that Infinite Crisis, and it was very cool. So I did. That's the only thing I've ever really experienced of those shows. At one point there was like a giant teddy bear or something like that, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it was like, "I'm out." You know what I mean? But it wasn't enough for me to get me watching those shows. But I thought that it was cool. And they kind of have their own Justice League there, and then there's also obviously Arrow. That was. I don't know why I got on that tangent about that or whatever, but that was like, kind of the closest thing we were really getting to the Justice League, whatever. But that kid being Flash, he was fine with that. That's what I was getting to. That's how I knew about Iris West. That's how I knew that was the love interest. So when they showed her in this Snyder's cut, that was cool. Now, like everything, some people really love that scene, and then some people really hate that scene. You liked it.
I liked it. I thought it was cool. It's a good example of the Flash, so I liked it.
So I talked about this with Joe that saw him this weekend. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a fun scene. And I talked about this with Friday Night Albert, who does our music on if you ever hear our audio version, you hear our super kick-ass intro music. I thought it was a cool, fun scene, neat. The music, showed his speed. But I thought it was weird when he goes to grab the hot dog. And
I thought it was weird too at first.
In my mind was already painting the picture. I knew this wasn't going to happen, but I was like, is he going to put the hot dog in her mouth?
Oh, geez.
And then
I didn't even think about that.
And then shortly, like after the movie, I'm going online and I find somebody made that meme already. They've got the hot dog like in her. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Because I was like, oh, this is like a romantic moment.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that.
I
just thought he was hungry.
The only reason I thought about it was because he grabbed the fucking hot dog. I was like, why is he?
I thought he was hungry. I didn't think about him putting it in his mouth.
I guess that's just me. Well, it's not just me because it was a fucking meme of it already made. I don't have the ability to Photoshop like that.
I didn't think about that. I thought he was just fucking hungry because he's always burning calories.
That's right. He did say that. Yeah.
Until he feeds it to the dogs or whatever.
You bring up an interesting aspect, Double A, because it's like even if you had never known anything about DC comics or DC movies, all you did was ever watch was like the Justice League. You just like superhero movies. You just watched the Justice League, and then you knew like, oh, they're redoing the Justice League. You're like, okay, I'll watch another. Because that's how my household was. They're like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, it was a different director, and they redid it. It's like a different movie almost. Yeah. And they're like, oh, okay. Like they haven't watched it yet, but they were interested. But if you never did that, if you didn't know any of that, you just watched superhero movies. In watching Snyder's Justice League, you do have a basis for the characters because you watched the other one. So even if all you watched is the movies, you still kind of know a little bit of what to expect of the characters, how they are. Like, oh, he's like wisecracking guy. Yeah. He's like a hard ass or whatever. Yeah. But it's very interesting because some of these characters, very dynamic from the Whedon cut to the Snyder cut, are different. They're like different people.
Yeah, they are.
Cyborg especially is one of those people. You know what I mean?
Real quick on this Flash note, I wanted to see if any of you guys paid attention to the truck that rammed Iris. It's Gardner Fox. Gardner Fox is a huge name in DC lore. I knew that name was familiar. And if you guys don't know, he's the creator of Flash. He's the creator of Hawkman.
Wow.
Dr. Fate, of Zatanna, the original Sandman. He was the one who put the Justice Society of America together, and he's the one that put the Justice League of America together, and he's the one that introduced the concept of the multiverse.
Very
in the Flash of Two Worlds. So that truck that you see that says Gardner Fox, that is the creator of Flash. And here's a little drawing of him.
I don't know if you can kind of see it there. It might be watched. Oh, there he is. Yeah, how
Gardner
cool is that?
Fox. A big name in the DC universe. So I thought that was really cool. Maybe that's why I marked out so much on that one.
No, that is very cool.
Yeah, they actually got the creator's name in there.
And let me tell you something. I've been watching stuff about this. Easter eggs, all that stuff. This is the first time I've heard that. Nobody's mentioned that I've seen yet.
Okay.
Just mentioned that. I listened to Kevin Smith's podcast. I listened to, like I said, how did this
I was like, that name has to mean something.
Nobody brought that up.
Wow.
So that's very, very cool, man. I did not know that. I like that. I dig that. Cool. If for anything to get the creator's name in there, that scene is good.
How fucking cool is that? And then especially the names that I just mentioned. You know, Flash, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Zatanna, you know, he's the one that introduced the multiverse.
Totally.
I mean, how fucking cool is that? Okay, now we get into Diana comes, you know, she sees the flame that the Amazonians lit. She goes to Bruce and she tells Bruce the Age of Heroes story. Mm-hmm. This is where I kind of like really got thrown off.
We're still in the first hour, right?
Yeah, and I told CM, I was like, what is this Lord of the Rings bullshit? You know, all the people of Earth coming together, you know, I was like, oh my goodness. They got Zeus, they got Ares. Mm-hmm.
I heard
Amazonians. That's supposed to be King Arthur
and Artemis. Whoever the arrow is, he's there too.
Yeah.
Those are the gods, and apparently it's the same face of the guy from the Wonder Woman movie. I didn't realize that.
And see, what I was like, man, you know, so Darkseid comes, and you know, I was like, okay, I'm not really liking Darkseid's look. All right, he looks really sorry. Okay, but I was like, you know what, is Darkseid cool, right? Darkseid, finally. He comes, man, he's like, you know, and the other thing, too, is that you see Green Lantern. You see a Green Lantern.
Kind of looks like a monkey.
Yeah.
Like
so I was like, okay, cool. You know, awesome. You know,
and Darkseid bests him.
Real easy. He fucking kills him quick, chops off his hand. The cool part was still is that they showed the ring flying off.
Right.
That was cool. Right. I like that.
And he almost kind of grabs it.
Yeah, which I thought was weird. I was like, what the fuck? You're not even... Like the ring should have like flown away, real quick.
Yeah.
You know,
that guy was not a very willpower Green Lantern because
no, he wasn't.
He got smoked.
So I was like, okay, cool. Like Darkseid just flicking off the Green Lantern.
Yeah,
cool.
Good start.
All right, but then he gets fucked up by Ares and Zeus. I was like,
that wasn't cool.
And then that man, the axe like penetrates him, and he's like bleeding all over the place, and his guys grab him, and and they're like, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
He got beat like that? Just like that?
And I know it's supposed to be like young Darkseid because this is millennia ago, right?
And then my friend at work, when I was saying about, he's the one that told me, well, it was supposed to be like the old gods versus the new gods. I was like,
oh, well, that kind of puts a spin on it.
I was like,
that's kind of neat. I mean, it was just him, though.
I know, but, well, you know how, like, all that Darkseid, Desaad, you know, Calabac, Orion, they're all supposed to be the new gods.
Yeah.
And, you know, Zeus and them are the old gods.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a meeting of the old gods versus the new gods.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know, man. He got beat, like, real quick. Zeus and Ares just beat the shit out of him.
And I know you're a big dark side guy.
I am, and just to see him like fucking get bitched out like that, I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I was like, what is that?
That scene was okay to me. I just thought
I didn't like the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Sorry. I thought like the King of Men. I didn't know that was supposed to be King Arthur. I
read somewhere that it's supposed to be King Arthur. Yeah. So I was like, all right.
I thought he just looked kind of sorry.
I thought so too.
And then when they get rid of the boxes, it's like I almost felt like it was kind of going in reverse because it looked to me like the Amazons broke the box out of that dirt cement thing, and then they put it on that pedestal. And I was like, if it was already in that, why'd you take it out? And the same thing with the Atlanteans. It looks like that octopus has it wrapped up and it's down, and then it's coming out. I'm like, why are you taking it out? Wherever that is, put it fucking back there. And then, and people have said this, but I thought it too. The men just throw it in a fucking hole. Yeah. Not even a deep hole, like a hole I could dig in like 30 minutes.
Remember? Yeah.
I was like, why the fuck would you put it there? Like,
you know that, but these boxes are so fucking important that Darkseid never comes back for him. Ever? Yeah.
Now, I have been hearing that
he forgot.
How did he forget? But I said this: hey, maybe he blocked out that mental trauma. You know what I mean?
But you know what? These fucking boxes are so important to him, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? I have other planets to conquer. I forgot which one where they were at."
Hey, you know what? Maybe one day we get an axe in our shoulder and get dragged off. I want to forget that day.
That looked like his major weapon. I don't know. Oh, and then we get introduced. Oh, before that, we get introduced to fucking Steppenwolf again.
Okay. Now. I want to stop on this point right here real quick. I fucking hate that Joss Whedon cut Steppenwolf. He looks like total shit. I kept saying that the face Rowdy looked like it reminded me of Ted Cruz. I was like, did they use Ted Cruz's face? Like, is that a real actor? Like, who the fuck plays him in that Joss Whedon cut? Somebody answer me that question. I thought it fucking sucked.
I know Caesar does the voice. I don't know who's supposed to be the model.
What's his name? Syrian. I wasn't say Syrian Hines, but that's the other actor.
No, yeah.
I know you're talking about. Yeah. Okay, fine. If that's him, that's fine.
But he's just a voice.
Just a voice. That Steppenwolf looks like shit. This Steppenwolf, to me, I have this in two. I wrote 2 different pages of notes. I have it on both. This Steppenwolf looks a lot better, a lot more intimidating, a lot more badass to me. I love the way the armor is moving and living. I think that's so cool.
So.
Vast improvement on Steppenwolf for me. You go.
So this is what I put right here in my notes because this was like the first thing. So I think Steppenwolf fucking blows.
Wait, as a character?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
And I put he is the equivalent to Ronan. I said that was like how I saw Steppenwolf. Like he was Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, he's a heavy hitter.
Oh, I get you.
He's a heavy hitter, but no one gives a shit about him. No one cares about him, you know, and he's just...
Well, to your point, we could say that Guardians kind of downplayed Ronan, too, because he was pretty bad. Man, Ronan the Accuser, man, he was dope.
But see, at least they put him in a movie like Guardians.
That's true. And he was the primary bad guy in that one.
Steppenwolf, I was like...
No, I agree with you. He is 100% that role, but, I mean... I didn't have a problem with him really being like the bad guy.
I just,
in this look, in that other one, I was like, man, you look like you suck.
You know what? The looks that really didn't bother me. It's just the character itself. I just don't believe that this should have been the main bad guy of Justice League Part 1.
You would have put Darkseid right away?
I wouldn't even have put Darkseid. I would have put someone else.
You maybe would have done the Doomsday.
I wouldn't even have done. Yeah, I wouldn't have done Darkseid at all. Yeah. I would have done Doomsday. Yeah, you still would have got the League.
Yeah,
yeah,
you still got the League,
or even like a Brainiac. Shit, what can he have done, Brainiac?
That'd have been fine too. There's a lot of ways.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was excited about Darkseid. So yeah. So Hour 1 comes, and again, that throws me off. It takes me like a few days to come back to it. You know, after I commit to doing this episode, I was like, okay, I have to fucking watch it. But man, Hour 2 comes along, you know what? And from like 2 to 4, it's a breeze for me. I put I love Batman, Wonder Woman, and Flash. I was still so on Aquaman, not big on Cyborg. Okay. So on Aquaman because it's just I don't know. I just couldn't get his character. He didn't want to help. you know, blah blah blah. You know, this guy, this billionaire, wouldn't come to you just for shits and giggles.
Right.
He's really asking you, I need your help.
And you're being a
fucker. Yeah, and you're being a sorry ass. Okay, you hate the Atlanteans and you hate the human world.
Yeah.
Okay, but this guy's trying to ask you, there's someone coming that's really gonna fuck shit up and he needs your help. And you know, everyone else is on board. Flash was like, hell yeah. Wonder Woman, yeah, she knows what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
and again, that to me is why he should have. I feel like there was so many other ways they could have approached it, especially using Wonder Woman. It's like once he went and failed, that scene is really long. You know what I mean? And once he went and failed, but he'd already met the man, I think he could have been like, Diana, you should approach him. You could have her. You know, but then again, the Amazons, the Atlanteans hate each other, so maybe that wouldn't have. Maybe that's the reason why.
No, it was the reason why.
You know,
he didn't like him, not knowing really that he's not really fully Atlantean.
Right.
And then the other thing too, Cyborg. I'm just not big. Like the character is fine itself, but I just don't believe he needs to be in Justice League.
Yeah.
That whole moping shit, it takes up a lot of time in the movie. His character, he's just like, oh, I'm a monster, and I hate my dad, and you know, blah blah blah. I'm like, that's why you need to be a Teen Titan first.
Yeah, maybe
to get rid of all these fucking emotions.
Yeah,
you know,
one of the things that I picked up on is that I saw in my research again is that somebody was saying how he's a much more lighthearted character in the Whedon cut. Like you don't feel that way about him. You don't feel that he's like, man, moping.
It didn't seem like it. No,
he didn't.
No, he was given a lot more screen time,
and he also was having issues with his powers. They were new to him, so he was kind of tweaking out. And I think that helped the character. They took that away. They don't really say anything about him not having control over his powers.
What did you think of his backstory stuff? The college football hero, the Gotham Knights. I think that's what the college team was.
GCU, Gotham City University.
Okay.
I don't know if they were
the mom part, him losing his mom.
I liked it. That fleshed out the character. That was missing from the other one.
And then how they showed him, like whenever I guess he's like hacking computers.
The dad's explaining the powers, right?
Yeah.
That part.
Well, that too, but showing too, like when he hacks into a computer, what he sees and how he sees himself. He's still like in his, you know, the Letterman and everything.
So I thought all that was fine.
Okay.
What I didn't like is kind of like the really heavy-handed, the way the dad's like going over. He's like, you can control anything. You control nuclear weapons. You control that. I'm like, this is like an 18-year-old kid, like first year at college, like. Maybe that's not the best things to be telling him.
Unless the computer is like also kind of like monitoring him as well. Part of his brain, part computer.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know.
Now, what I didn't like was that like it shows him like he's following them through the cameras in the city, the single mom, and she's struggling. Yeah. And he gives her all this money, right?
Yes.
And my first thought when I saw this was, and I did hear other people talk about it, but my first thought was, I was like, why didn't he go to like, they should have showed like the apartment complex thing or whatever and like showed her rent paid or whatever instead of just like putting money into the account. Now maybe that was a better like visual, you know, and like, you know, like, oh, I won the whatever. I think the ATM says like Gotham City Sweepstakes, excuse me.
Yeah.
You know,
that's how she wanted.
But I didn't like that. I was like, no, you would go and pay her rent because she got evicted already. I gathered all that from the story.
Yeah, I didn't care for that storyline at all. I would have been fine if they had not even put that. I know it's to show his character that I guess he was more accepting of it, more and more. I don't know, but
I think there was definitely there needed to be
like that should be his movie. We're gonna do that. Show it in his movie.
At the end of the day, I would say this: how I'm going to end up feeling is that there needs to be almost a blend. People are gonna hate this, but a blend of the Whedon and the Snyder Cut or whatever, because there were a lot of things that in retrospect, and I haven't rewatched it again, the Whedon Cut, but there's a lot of things that Joss did do good that I think that we were forgetting about, you know what I mean? Because you didn't watch them back to back, but you know, it helped the characters or whatever, you know what I mean? Because I think that there's a lot to be said in that scene where Wonder Woman's kind of like, you know, she sees Batman's back all beat up and she's kind of like, you know, helping him like out of the suit, and they're conversating about their thoughts on things. That's fleshing those characters out. They took that away, and it's like now those characters are kind of a little bit more one-dimensional. Although I want to say I love this Batman and this Bruce Wayne so much more. This is probably my favorite Bruce Wayne live action, maybe. It reminded me very much, I had this in my notes on both pages, that this Bruce Wayne reminds me the most of the Batman the Animated Series Bruce Wayne. I love that 2 times he mentions having faith. He's telling Alfred, which, by the way, Jeremy Irons, fantastic Alfred.
Oh, man.
Loved every
I didn't
extra
think I was going to like Bell, anyone more than Bell and
Michael Caine.
That's
a tough combo.
Man, Ben Affleck and Jeremy Irons, that's fucking awesome. You feel like they've been together for a long time.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, I feel that way. I totally feel that way. And we've often said Michael Caine is an outstanding Alfred.
He is. I didn't think anyone was going to be better, but Jeremy Irons looks like he has so much more energy. And he's like helping him with like fights, and he's with him, you know, on the mic, and he's, you know, doing engineering shit. And
also a little bit of quips, a little bit of jokiness, a little bit of lightheartedness when he's telling Diana about the tea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this Snyder Bruce Wayne also is he's Bruce Wayne quite a bit.
Yes.
And
yes, he is, which I liked. I was like, finally.
Because you have told me a lot that you thought Bale's Bruce Wayne is not that great.
No,
he's not really Bruce Wayne that much.
I gotta have a good Bruce Wayne too, you know. And I like seeing this. I like seeing Ben Affleck was more Bruce Wayne.
I loved it. And he was also a more I know my role Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and I like that because it's like they don't have him being this overly intelligent, because there were so many moments where in my mind I was thinking this. I was in the Snyder Cut. I was like, well, wouldn't Batman figure that out? I'm like, I thought Batman's the greatest detective. They didn't play it that way. They were like,
and I think that's why I liked it more.
Bruce needed help. He was vulnerable, and that was very good, I thought.
And then, like you said, the faith thing. How weird is that for Batman to say?
That was him in the opposite direction.
On faith.
I'm going on faith. Yeah. What did we talk about in our Green Lantern episode? How he doesn't trust Hal.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you need to stand down. He's barking orders. And it was like, everyone was like, I'm like, hold on, motherfucker, you ain't in charge around here. Like, shut the fuck up. Number one, I'm gonna listen to somebody that's gonna be Superman, not you. But you're over here like, no, I don't, pretty much I don't trust you. So this was a very, very nice, like I thought movie version, and the movies have done this well. I like almost every incarnation of movie Batman because he is at a disadvantage. He's vulnerable. They even focus very much on the fact that his body breaks down. Now in the comics, you can't do that because he's been running for forever, and we don't really know what age Batman is. Comic books are different times.
Certain comics, though, it will show his body is really fucked up.
Right.
There's even a great one in the Three Jokers, where it shows where almost like every scar is coming from acid to the umbrella to poison ivy to all this shit, and you're just like, damn. And
it's funny. Damn. It's funny because another scene I think that is missing in this Snyder Cut, and I believe that it's in the Whedon cut. If not, it may be one of the previous ones. But pretty much, Bruce is talking to Alfred, and he's telling him about how Clark is more human than him because he came to Earth, he found love, he inspires people, he gives hope. Like he's pretty much saying, like the things that are missing in himself. You know what I mean? Batman operates on fear. You know what I mean? That's what he does. You know what I mean? Like he is driven essentially by the fact that his parents were killed. And we've also seen how he operates, which is very evident in the Three Jokers comic book, not to be all over the place, but it's like this guy has failed a lot of people, and a lot of people have got hurt under his watch.
Which they do talk about this
in this one, right?
Not just this one, but even like I think Batman versus Superman, they show the costume, the Robin suit.
That's right.
It's all bloody.
That's right.
It's all fucked up
with the Joker's writing on there. You know what I mean? Who's laughing now?
So I mean, it's showing here his flaws too, which we love. This is the kind of Batman that we love, where he's not a super detective. And he's failed his Robins,
right?
So
that is human. His thing. That exactly,
he's
human.
Fucking human.
People, our Friday Nighter Joe said earlier that Superman's kryptonite is not kryptonite; it's Lois.
It's Lois.
It's because he's chosen to love. Now Batman cuts off all that shit.
He tries as much, but
exactly
his sidekicks usually are the ones that get it.
It seeps in, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like it's like he has put people in danger. You know what I mean? Because of his actions. So another note that I have here, it says, shoot, what do I have here? Well, I was talking about kind of earlier, the earlier scene. I don't really think that Wonder Woman should have killed. I think that scene works fine, like in the Whedon cut where she's just tossing them around and she doesn't necessarily need to vaporize that Bruce Bolton. She could have just kind of bent the gun down. I wrote here, she should have just broke the gun. I said scene where Bruce goes to get Barry. I said what I saw in one of the videos I watched is really neat. So this scene is a little bit longer when Bruce, the very is in the trailer, Bruce throws the thing, whatever. Now some people were griping, they were like, oh well, how did he know that Barry had powers? He just fucking threw that battery at him. He could have fucking split his head open or whatever. And I'm like, now this is where I'm okay with Detective Batman. I'm like, I think he knew enough.
He knew. He had the footage of it.
Yeah, he did have the footage of it. And he's there. Yeah. He's there in the cave. He sees the he sees the suit too. It's like it's a lightning bolt. It's like, come on, he's still
really that was a thing.
Yeah, that was a thing. Wow. People were like, I can't believe he threw that at him. And I was like, number one, that was in the original. So
yeah, they show it where him and Diana are looking at it.
Yeah. But this is what's really, really cool is that this scene is a little bit fatter. You see him get in the car, and what is he telling me? What's your superpower? He's like, I'm rich, you know what I mean? And then I think the scene ends there in the original. Well, in this one, you see the badass car. He's driving like a mocked up Mercedes, and it takes off and it goes up the highway. There's a really cool reason for that. When they're passing by that billboard, the billboard is for suicide prevention. Oh, it's a real billboard with a real website, and I think it says. I didn't write down what it said, but it's an actual line that's used for suicide prevention, and all that. So obviously a real deep message from Zack Snyder, because obviously his daughter committed suicide. That's right. So I thought that was very beautiful. Yes. And guys, knowing that story about what happened with Zack Snyder and his daughter and the tragedy of all that, his daughter Autumn, it really does put a perspective on this film for me, because I'm like, man, this is really like a lot of ways, in a sense, like a love letter and a labor of love in the true sense. It is. He had to step away because of that. It was going to be the biggest movie of his life. That happened. He did the right thing and went to go take care of his family and do what had to be done as a dad and a husband. And he could have been a Hollywood guy and said, I'm just going to stay on. And we would have been like, man, what a fucking cold, callous bastard. But he went to go deal with this stuff. And then he was presented the opportunity because of the fans to do it his way. And I think that's very, 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 very cool. And obviously that does leak into this. Although all the stuff was shot and stuff like that before, I'm sure there was a certain degree of editing and all that and music that went into it that gives the film a certain tone. I mean, and there's a lot of things you can CGI in too, whatever. I think a lot of stuff is CGI done. So, the next thing I have here is about I think I'm already at the point where they're digging up Clark. I don't know. Okay.
So I do. So when Steppenwolf is setting up his base, one of the things I fucking pop, because I'm such a big fan, when he talks to Desaad. I like Desaad. I'm like, wow, they actually showed him, and he looks fucking creepy as hell.
Oh yeah, way better than the comics, from what I remember. He looked like in the comics,
and he just talks to Steppenwolf like he's like a piece of shit. Oh yeah, obviously you find out Steppenwolf did something to Darkseid. Darkseid banished him from Apocalypse and told him he has to conquer like so many fucking hundreds of thousands of worlds.
Right.
So you kind of flesh out more Steppenwolf. Apparently he did something, so that's why he's doing what he's doing. Mother Box, the anti-life equation. That's why he's trying to get on, Darkseid's good graces again.
Right.
So seeing Desaad, just again for comic value, I love it.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And I think I told you, I was like, did Desaad come out in the Justice League? The original
I don't think that he did.
And I don't think he did, because I would have popped like I did now. Yeah. So that was fucking cool. So, and then the other thing, right before we go to break, I want to give you guys this question. The Parademons, are they really that much stronger than the Atlanteans, but not that much stronger than Batman? They drag the Atlanteans out of the ocean. They're like dragging them out, but yet they have a problem with Batman. So food for thought there before we go on our next break.
And I have a neat thought on that too. I'll bring up during break, whatever. But guys, we are at about that point where we take our next break at the 30-minute mark. We're going to read through your comments, read through your questions. We're talking all things Snyder Cut. What did you think? If me and Double A had an extended movie, I would call it the Just Another Friday Night Circumcision.
Oh, shit.
Be right back. Guys, if you're joining with us on Facebook Live.
Guys, what did you think?
We don't go anywhere. So here's one of the things that I heard that somebody was saying about like continuity. So in the Aquaman movie, the Atlanteans have to have that mask on.
Yeah, of course they do.
Well, they're dragging them out of the water and talking to them in the Snyder Cut.
But they have like, masks.
Did they have masks?
Yes.
The Atlanteans?
Yes. What just sucks is that the parademons are just fucking grabbing them like they're nothing.
Oh, okay.
And they're just like pulling them out of the water like nothing. They're all like, ah. But yet
they're just scrubs.
Yeah, but then it's like Batman is like kicking their ass. I'm like, what the hell? Like,
Very
I thought the Atlanteans had some sort of strength.
Right.
They're just getting their asses dragged out of the water.
The Amazons did way better.
I was like, wow. I was like, man.
Okay, let's see here, guys. We're gonna get right into the comments.
Yeah,
here.
Joe says, okay, hold on. The Chuck and I doing a movie Chuck hasn't seen podcast. Me and Double A doing a DC animation watch along pod. Damn.
Just mix it up, Joe. It'll be all one podcast here. It'll be DC movies that Double A hasn't seen. I probably haven't seen either. And then it'll be movies that I haven't seen.
Joe says, CM Cochino with the hot dog.
I'm just saying. Wait till I post that meme. I got that meme loaded up for you guys here. Let's get a little bit further in here past the Michael Chino hot dog comment.
Jess.
Babe, what are you doing, babe?
Joe, awesome. I'm so glad.
Yes, I'm glad you caught that, babe, that she liked the Among Us. Joe, well, I won't make you tell us your little girl's name on air, but yeah, I'm glad she liked it.
Joe says, freaking Amazonia seas rocked. They were good. Cool. They were good. I just thought they were too long.
I loved the part that where she's, he's like, I'll bathe in your fear. And she's like, show me your fear. And they're like, we have no fear. I was like, whoo, shit. Like, that's badass. Like, I got pretty hype on that part.
Those chicks are definitely worthy of the name Amazonia.
Definitely. Very cool. Very cool.
Richard says, I thought the same thing, Double A. What in the Lord of the Rings battle of the 5 armies is this bullshit?
Yeah, man. There was definitely like deep Lord of the Rings vibes in that.
Joe says it's 2 gods. All right, Zeus and Ares. Richard says, yeah, I thought Darkseid was this powerful being, and how can these 2 guys beat him like that? That's what I thought.
Well, they were gods. I mean, yeah, and one of them is Zeus. Zeus is the king of the gods, right? I mean, man, come on, Double A. I know you like Zeus. Zeus is Zeus, you know?
Yeah, but damn. And then Joe says that was baby Darkseid.
That's right. That was baby Darkseid. Okay.
So it was supposed to be King Arthur, so he was representing man. Yes, he was.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Yeah. I didn't know that. Or mankind.
I just read that as several things. I don't know that he is supposed to be or not.
Joe says, laugh my ass off, Ted Cruz. That's what I thought his face looked like to me. Sorry.
Joe says, y'all think this canceled you guys has to do with them letting Snyder finish? I don't know. Maybe they just don't have enough vision to see New Gods through, you know?
I'm not familiar with that Jack Kirby stuff. Have you ever read that stuff?
No, but I mean, Orion from the Superman animated series, Caliban.
Well, Orion's the son, right?
Yeah, Orion, All-Father, the Apocalypse, and the one that they sent Orion to, Okay. I mean, that's all interesting stuff. It really is.
I don't know. They say things are canceled, guys, but look what happened. The Snyder Cut was canceled, or there was no Snyder Cut, and then we got the Snyder Cut. So, I mean, DC has to see that, or WB, has to see that there's room to be capitalized on. Even if you just throw this shit on HBO Max. Guys.
I wouldn't mind seeing Orion. I would like to see Orion.
DC sometimes is, I feel like, so troubled trying to follow Marvel, and I'm like, follow
your own, man.
Follow your own. But if you're gonna follow certain things, if you feel like you've got a filmmaker like Snyder, and these stories are too big to be told in a 2-hour movie, you can't do it. Hey, guess what? We just had WandaVision. We got Falcon and the Winter Soldier right now. Do it like that. Yeah. It's so enjoyable to go deep on these characters that you're like, what did we say last week? Wow, now we like Scarlet Witch and Vision, and we want to read their comics. I mean, like, and I can tell you right now, Double A's not caught up, so no spoilers, please. But the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is doing the same damn thing, guys. The story is there. I mean, it's like, you're like, wow, this person is extremely interesting. Like, okay, great. Like, you want to do the New Gods? Do it. Give us an HBO.
I would love it, so you can show more of where Darkseid came from.
Yeah, give us 6 miniseries, 6 episode miniseries about the New Gods. I'll watch it. I mean, I love superhero shit. I'll watch it.
Richard said Ciarán Hinds is the voice. Steppenwolf was weak and just made him look like a bitch in the film. Cyborg is a crybaby. I agree with you, Rich.
Rich, bringing the hardcore comments, man. I was waiting for you.
Rich thinks, I think in the Snyder Cut, they made Cyborg like a very important key key character. Like if he wasn't around, they wouldn't have a chance to beat Steppenwolf and the army that is coming. I thought so too. I was like, Cyborgs can't be that fucking important.
I have a very, very important point about this, but I'm going to save it for when we're back on there.
Joe says Cyborg's dad fucked up Cyborgs in T2. Let's not let that dude around.
I keep hearing that too. I always forget it. That's Miles Dyson, Joe. Yeah. Damn.
I like when he introduced the team to Alfred and says I work for him. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was a very Batman animated series Bruce Wayne line. I was like, I was like really love it. I was like, I love you more as Batfleck.
Yeah.
I really did. This and that. I haven't heard anybody really say that about Ben and
Which
that
is weird.
This cut,
like,
because that's what this cut did do good. Is I was like, I'm in love with Batman again. He's not a fucking dick, and he's not, a be all end all. He's a really smart guy, and he's a guy that knows how to get things done, and that's what he's doing. He's trying to form this team, and he's driven by the fact that he's guilt-ridden or whatever, you know what I mean? Which him and Alfred have a very great conversation about. I'm going to get into that too, but we'll just keep going.
Let me see. I like when he let me see. Richard says Ben Affleck is a great Batman as well. I think he has that dark side of him that brings it out in Batman.
He could be both. He could be both sides. That's a great thing about him.
Yeah. Joe says the Joker brings it up at the end. How many have you seen die? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He sure does.
This might be yours right here.
Let me see here. Shit. Okay. Nene. Chuck, if you see this comment, please shout me out because you never, ever, ever shout me out. I've been waiting this whole hour for a shout out and nothing. Nene, I know you lying because I've been shouting you out. We shouted you out earlier at Funny Nene on TikTok. Guys, go check him out. Check him out on not Instagram, Facebook or TikTok. That's where you can go see at Funny Nene. Freaking Nene! Hilarious videos, guaranteed to make you laugh. If you go deep in there, you'll even see myself in a couple of those videos. And we know that Nene loves to go deep. So there's that. And this guy has gotten likes from George Lopez, has gotten likes from Chris Pettis, Selena's ex. I just hate to say that about him, but that's who he is. He's Selena's ex. You know what I mean? But I mean, these guys have legit liked Nene's videos. So go check them out when you want to have a laugh, take a break from all this heavy comic book talk, take a break from the Snyder Cut, and go listen to watch some of Nene's videos. Nene, I hope I met your qualifications and you got the shout out, bro. But you know what I mean? You're probably gone doing your thing. So what can I say?
Joe says Desaad with the exclamation mark.
Desaad.
Gabriel says, I'm back. Have we moved on to Invincible yet? Now that's a show. Just kidding, guys. The movies haven't turned me into a DC fan yet. You know what? If you're looking at these movies, I don't know how much of a DC fan anyone would be, honestly.
Yeah. These might not be what it takes to turn you into one. Yeah. I definitely agree. Gabe, I am caught up as of today with Invincible. Very, very nice. And by the way, if you got any slabbed number ones, let your boy know, because I'm getting interested in the market before it blows up. I'm getting interested in Invincible, so I got to keep my eyes peeled. Gabe, what do you know? Send me the good word, brother. Rich says, I actually wasn't a fan of the Snyder Cut for several reasons, but my biggest reason is because it leaves you wanting more, knowing
that we will not have another film from Snyder. So that's all a letdown for me right there.
Mm-hmm. Joe says Batman has always been guilt-driven. Yeah, that is, well, was he guilty as a little boy that he couldn't stop him?
Because I think he feels like he was scared, right? So that's why they went to the alley, right?
Or it was because of him that they were at the movies?
Well, no, because like in Batman Begins, they showed like they left early
because he was scared. Right. But really, it was Thomas's fault that they go down the fucking alley.
For
I'm
sure.
like,
you're a rich asshole.
You're rich. Why aren't you valeting?
Why isn't there a limo?
Yeah, exactly. Why is there a limo at the front? And number one, why aren't you paying security? Like, you live in Gotham, the most crime-ridden city fucking for forever.
Yeah, so, even like Aquaman says.
Disagree, Joe.
Remember? Even Aquaman is like, oh, that shithole.
Yeah, exactly. Aquaman says that about Gotham being a shithole. I blame Thomas Wayne, not you, Bruce.
Damn.
Joe says
Sam's video with Nene had me laughing my ass off.
Thank you.
Joe says Justice League is close to my Godfather type movie. Okay.
Joe is like on his third or fourth viewing, by the way. That's a DC man right there.
And then Joe says, yeah, double A, he was scared.
Yeah. And shit, I have to say, even Friday Nighter Albert Olivares, who's our kind of our resident, besides Joe, resident DC guy, had issues with this movie. But you know what? I said, hey guys, even I had issues with Endgame. There were issues. It was a lot of fan lip service. And if you don't have that big fight at the end, you could have probably cut out a lot of that other shit in that movie. It's not really setting anything up. It's just meant to be like, whatever. It's like, I love Endgame. I love it. I really do. Yeah. But it wasn't what I thought it was going to be when I walked out of there. I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be like, it was really like heavy hand. It almost felt like one of those episodes of a show you liked in the 80s. That's like, they do a recap episode when I'm like, hey, remember that time when we did this? And then it's like, and then you see like it's a clip from that episode. Like, I was like, wow, why did Endgame do that? Like, there's a lot of great stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff in there that I was like, you know what I mean? So, and that's what I love that one. So the things that people did have wrong with this movie, I was like, I can suspend my disbelief to move to the next point. I'm not saying I'm living for every action scene or every highlight moment, but a part of you has to say like, all right, we're watching people flying around and then dressed as bats. So how much you can be like, oh, I can't believe that. It's like, well, what are you doing here then? You're in the wrong space. So great comments, guys. No, I will never, Joe. I will Mark Bernard in it for you because I love Mark. He's a great podcast host, but I do feel as though those comments that came out about him where sometimes it seems like he hates things for the sake of hating them or for even ruining them for Kevin Smith, who loves everything. You know what I mean? It's like, and Kev has said, he's like, you'll never hear my negatives on something. You know what I mean? And you mostly don't. He's like, he and I'm not saying that he gushes over everything, but it's like some things he like really gushes over and then some things not so much, but certain things. And plus Ben Affleck's his friend. So he, you know what, even if Ben Affleck puts out a complete turd, he should support his friend no matter what. Because that's his boy.
There's this movie that he did like where it's like his stand-up, right? Mm-hmm. And somebody asked him like about Ben Affleck, and he's like, "Oh, I love Ben. I'll recommend him for anything." Somebody says, "Hey, who should play the shark from Jaws?" I would say Ben Affleck. Yeah. So he's like, he goes every time somebody like, who do you think should play this character? He says every time it's Ben Affleck. So
yeah, he truly thinks of him. I think he thinks of him as this guy who is a great, talented actor. And I also think that Kev looks up to him as like a big, physically imposing kind of guy that can be in great shape. And it's like, it reminds me of how I would think about, your older brother, Boy, when I was a younger guy. I'd be like, oh, I'd be like Boy when I get bigger,
Yeah.
And I think that's how Kev feels about Ben, which is awesome. That's awesome. You know what I mean? I'm glad that their friendship rekindled. So, okay, guys, let's get back into the conversation about the Snyder Cut. Again, we're all over the place. There's no format. We're not going hour by hour. We're just talking about our high points, things that we both bothered to take the time to write notes about because there's so much damn movie there. You got to have some notes to talk about it. So what were your thoughts specifically on the Snyder Cut, certain parts, certain things that they changed or didn't change? Did you watch?
What did you agree with? Who do you think should have been in the movie?
Mm-hmm. Did you watch back to back? Did you not watch? It's been a long time since you've seen the Whedon cut. Let us know. But for our audio listeners, we're going to come right back right now. Guys, thanks for hanging out. You might have heard that quick little bleep where we were trying to get the read the comments on our Facebook Live. Again, you're invited every Friday night to join us live on Facebook. We go live. We do this show. We talk about whatever the topic of the week is. And then we, invite you to join in and tell us stuff too. Tell us what you thought about what you saw, what we were talking about. Or as people do in the comments, tell us about other things they're watching, things like Invincible and that's also very great. I'm enjoying it right now, and I'm going to get Double A to enjoy it. And maybe if we both get caught up, we can maybe do an episode on that. I would love to do that, so that'd be great. But we are talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 4-hour epic. Friday Nighter Joe called it his Godfather type movie. It is that long. It's longer than that. You know what I mean? So you probably have to watch both Godfathers 1 and 2 to get a lot of the length of this one. It's definitely got girth. Zack Snyder put a lot of stuff in there. He's definitely a very visionary filmmaker, no doubt. His visuals are a feast. If there was no dialogue on them, you could watch them and still enjoy it. I heard he comes from the world of music videos, Double A, so he's a music video maker. That's why he likes maybe his choice of music. I did hear somebody say jokingly, you know, like, oh, I watched Snyder Cut, or as I call it, you know, Justice League the musical. There's a lot of music in the first
part. It is.
You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie, it did bother me a lot.
Yeah, it was a little heavy-handed. I was like, oh, another song. Like I was kind of like, okay, like I was
the music part did bother me a lot. Yeah.
So, and I think sometimes maybe you're trying to tell a story with that music.
I know.
But it can be a lot like. Yeah. I think you're just not used to it in superhero movies. So
I thought some of those songs were stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Well, one of the things I saw that was changed was that the scene where Aquaman is walking into the water after he rescues the guy, Snyder puts this really slow song on there. I think it's by I don't have that artist name right now. Somebody help me out if you guys are out there listening. But whoever it was. But in the original, I got to see it side by side with the original, the Whedon cut, and it's Icky Thump from White Stripes, which I felt fit a lot better. And I was like, oh, that's more like fucking pumps you up a little bit.
Yeah.
The song that Snyder put on there was a really kind of slow, really melodic.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if it fit that scene or it really fit Aquaman's character, which again, we don't really get a lot of. The difference. One of the main things about this Snyder Cut that we have to kind of emphasize, I think, AA, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have the benefit of getting to watch Zack Snyder's cut after we've seen an Aquaman movie, after we've seen the Whedon cut. So it's like there's a certain.
But does it follow Aquaman?
No, it doesn't. And well, it was meant to come before. It doesn't really help set it up, but, you know, because there's so many things different. Everyone talked about Mera. There's an accent in this one that she doesn't have in the other one. So obviously there are some continuity errors. Even the talking, I think in Aquaman, they can talk underwater.
Yes, they can.
But in this one, they're doing this kind of like air bubble.
Yeah,
they kind of create this air bubble so they can talk. Because that doesn't make sense too. The vocal cords thing. But one of the things I put, we already said it, that I love this Bruce. You know, there's a scene, I don't know if I said this right, but there's a scene where they dig up Clark Kent's body. Now, in this Snyder cut, Flash says, you know, we could do this in a nanosecond, right? And Cyborg just says, yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
Okay.
While Wonder Woman and Aquaman are like in the background, just chilling.
And here's what I didn't like. And I only learned watching it by myself. This is what I didn't like. I'm like, if time is of the essence, why? Yes, I know you want to be respectful, but you would just send Flash to that job.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've got Bruce and Alfred working on this ship that's busted when you know that Cyborg can fix anything mechanical. Yeah. So that doesn't make sense to me. They should have fixed that. Now, what I saw, because again, I haven't watched the Whedon cut again recently, but when you watch those scenes side by side, there's a lot more dialogue in there, and it's cool. It's good dialogue because Flash says, you know, we could do this in a nanosecond, right? But it doesn't feel like that will be right. And Cyborg goes, yeah, I agree with you. And then there's a point in the conversation where he goes to give Cyborg a fist bump, but Cyborg just looks at his hand, and then he goes, I'm sorry, that felt like that was racially motivated, and you know, that's wrong. So maybe that's why they cut that out. But either way, Snyder cut all that out. But at the end of the movie, they do fist bump, and it kind of makes more sense. And there's also the other part of the dialogue is that in the Whedon cut is that Cyborg is saying to him, like, how'd you get your powers, more or less? And he tells him, and it was like an accident. And then he's like, yeah, me too. And it's like they kind of, in a sense, bond over them being like they accidentally got their powers. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool. And again, I want to give credit to whatever podcast I heard that on, because I didn't put this together myself. I heard this in my research, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a very interesting aspect to that. And that dialogue actually is better. So, you know, there's nothing you can really say about that except that that's better. One of the things I heard behind the scenes is that, like, you know, that what people didn't like about it, I guess at the studio maybe, was that Cyborg was so angry, and that, you know, obviously he's an African-American, and then they were like, oh, it's going to seem like an angry African-American at the center of this movie.
Look, don't get me wrong. If, you know, you're in an accident and then all of a sudden you're all full of metal parts, I mean, yeah, there's a scene where he looks out the window and like people are playing. It's like he can never go back to that life ever.
No,
he can never just be a regular dude.
He didn't ask for that either. He probably would have been like, I should have died in this thing. But the dad's,
and when you see it, like he's like just a torso.
Yeah,
you know,
there was like nothing left.
Terrible.
Really. It was like worse than RoboCop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I thought they focused too much on the cyborg character.
Well,
again, I don't know. Maybe he's super popular. For me, it's just he's a Teen Titan, and that's just what keeps throwing me off. How can you replace a Green Lantern with Cyborg? It's like, wow, really? It's like you're taking David Robinson and putting Rosho, starting in the starting five. It's like, wow, you can't take out the Admiral, right?
No, I agree.
Green Lantern's such a big fucking part, and I don't think like I said, I don't care. You can put John if you wanted to do that. Put John in.
Totally. Yeah.
As long as it's one of the fucking Green Lanterns.
They could have told a really dynamic story, I think, with John
Stewart, a great story as Cyborg does.
Yeah.
I
think what it is that, we know, because Snyder has already said that he wanted to do some Green Lantern stuff.
And Warner Brothers said no.
Because there was going to be a show, and also because I guess Ryan Reynolds' movie didn't do that hot. Because he also wanted, I think, Ryan Reynolds to cameo.
He did, which would have been cool,
Which would have been cool, too. And I think that Green Lantern was supposed to be there instead of, like, Martian Manhunter. But, we do know that they want to diversify as well. It can't be just a whole team of just like
I said, that's why I say put
white
in,
dudes,
put in John.
Yeah, totally.
If you were going to do that, if that was your argument, put in John.
It did seem like Cyborg was the odd man out from the beginning, and it wasn't because he was a black guy. It was because it was a character that was kind of like, oh, you're like on one of the other teams. You know what I mean?
So, a lower tier team.
And it was like, especially when there's people that are on this team that
are heavy hitters.
That could be, John Stewart, Green Lantern was the hugest part of that animated series at Justice League Unlimited, right? Am I right?
Yes.
So it's like, that seemed like the natural choice, but for whatever reason, they go the opposite way.
And then Green Lantern and Flashes have like such a tight history, you know? And it seems like they try doing that with Flash and Cyborg.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
like you said, the fist bump. Oh, excuse me. The fist bump at the end.
Yeah.
That should have been Flash and Green Lantern.
Yeah, totally. They missed the boat on kind of creating that relationship.
Yeah, that's always been a big part, from Alan Scott, Jay Garrett, all the way up to Barry and Hal. Yeah. All the way up to Kyle and Wally. They always have that relationship.
It's funny, too, because, the Avengers, to me, have there's so many incarnations of the Avengers, right? I mean, I think there were at one point, I don't know if it's like this now, but at one point it's like Spider-Man and Wolverine are on the Avengers.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, to me, it's like, oh, well, you go and take your two biggest guys in your sales probably, and you put them on your biggest team. Well, now you have made them your most important team, especially now when somebody could argue for the longest time, it was probably the X-Men. And before that, the Fantastic Four. The Avengers would have been like a third. They were the third team. Yeah. You know what I mean? But one of the things about the Avengers was like kind of like the Spurs with the big three and the role players. There was three pieces you didn't really move, which to me would have been Cap, Iron Man, and Thor. Yeah. It was like those will always be the Avengers. It doesn't really matter who else you put on the team, but those three got to be there or whatever. Although I know that at one point Cap was on one team and then Tony was leading the West Coast Avengers in the comics or whatever.
Yeah.
But to me, it was like the real Avengers is got to have them three. Because, I mean, like we said, Hulk was an Avenger in the old days. Then he left. And then
he only was there for like 2 issues.
Yeah, he wasn't an Avenger for a very long time. So that was an interesting choice to me when they put him in the movies and all that. I was like, oh, okay, he's going to be an Avenger again. They're going that old school route. But the thing about the Justice League is like, yeah, you got to have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, or whatever. And you can almost put whoever else around. But there's such a rich history of the certain.
It is. It's. You gotta have Aquaman. You gotta have Green Lantern. You gotta have Flash.
Right.
Surrounding them.
But let me get a few more notes in here. So one of the things that I heard a negative was like people were like, oh, they didn't explain like why Superman put on the black suit. Now this, I remember, I know this from the comic books. You know this from the comics. That's what he wears when he comes back. That's
the Resurrection.
The Resurrection. Yeah. No cape. It's just a black suit, which looks neat. I always loved that suit.
I thought it was cool too.
And he had the long hair. Which he kept in the comics mullet, for a while. Like a mullet. Yeah. They said that Snyder did want to give him that, but that they said no, that he couldn't do the mullet. But there's a really good looking version where he's got the fucking full beard and the long hair. I think he should have come back like that, because apparently there was all these issues with his facial hair. I'm like, just let him rock the fucking beard. Like, it'll look badass. And I would have put the black cape on him. I would have just had him with the silver S. But the thing I learned about it is that, like, and again, you don't know this unless you read the comic books or whatever, but I didn't know this. I saw it on another one of my research videos. It was that the black costume is meant to be a healing costume. And the reason why is because it absorbs more sunlight, which, as we all know, black does absorb the sun more. It sucks the sun, onto you. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. Again, this can easily be fixed by like 1 or 2 lines or whatever. We were talking about it, me and Double A. There's a great line in Kingdom Come where someone tells Superman he's got an S on, but with the black. That's like one of my favorite t-shirts. I have that Kingdom Come S Superman. It's got black. It's black and red instead of red and yellow. And someone tells him, oh, black, that's a different look for you. And he says something back, but that would have been a great line for, like, say, Batman to give him, you know what I mean? Or anyone in the movie to give him when they see him. Alfred, when he first shows up with Alfred, he could have said that. And then, you know what I mean? Then a quick 1-sentence explanation about how this suit will heal me better with the, absorbing more sun. Oh, okay,
which
cool.
They show him leaving Earth.
Yes, to go get the sun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without, it doesn't explain it, but I think you get it. You know what I mean? So I thought it was very cool. I love the black suit. Were you okay with him having that on throughout?
Yeah.
That was a neat aspect, I thought. For anyone that criticized that, I wrote here again, love this Bruce. A scene that I was missing was the lasso scene where the lasso's on, I think, the Batmobile, and Aquaman sitting on top of it. He starts to kind of spout off all this, it's kind of lighthearted.
His honest feelings.
Yeah, like, man, we ain't going to fucking make it. Like, we're in trouble. You know what I mean? That was a very cool, I think, lighthearted scene, and it gave a lot of character to Aquaman. They took that scene out. That was a scene I thought that was a really good scene in the original. So what do you got next in your stuff there, Double?
Okay, so it looks like at this point that they get into a battle with Steppenwolf. Mm-hmm. Right here, I was thinking that, man, Wonder Woman should have been able to handle his ass on her own.
You're talking about that first confrontation, so yeah.
Yeah, I put that. I like how Justice League is strong, but they're not as strong without Superman. So I liked how they showed them working together. They're a really good team, but it's just like, golly, you're missing your force.
Right. Right. Sure. No, that's a great point.
I geeked out with Martian and Manhunter. I put holy shit and exclamation marks when he comes out after he talks to Lois.
Yeah.
He kind of tells her, as Martha, he kind of tells her that she needs to start, coming out more and more, and she needs to stop mourning, go to work, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But when he turned into Martian Manhunter, I flipped. I'm a huge Martian Manhunter fan. I love John. I love the whole history of Martian Manhunter. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I think it was, again, I was like, is Martian Manhunter in the Joss Whedon?
Yeah.
And I don't think he was, because I would have flipped out. Mm-hmm. I love John.
I also popped big on that. I hadn't read no spoilers. I didn't know that scene was coming. I was watching that scene. I was like, I thought that was very cool. And then, like, when that happened outside the door, I was like, oh shit, like, what the fuck, new character, rad. Like, that's really rad.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, finally, Martian Manhunter.
Now, there's other stuff in that scene that's really cool to me too, that I noticed is, like, well, number one, what I learned is that scene is way different than the Whedon cut altogether, because in the Whedon cut, she is at work. She's working back at the planet. There's multiple scenes with her at the planet. Yeah. So this was very neat to kind of show Lois's grief, that, like, she's still, she hasn't gone back to work. She's at home or whatever, I may be jumping ahead actually, but what I mean is that scene leads you to, like, your next Lois scene, where later on, she reaches for her badge in that drawer, and what do you see in the drawer? The pregnancy test.
Oh.
So that, to me, I picked up on that right away. Shit. I saw her pick up her work badge, the Daily Planet work badge, and right under it is the pregnancy test. Damn. It's like plain as fucking day. So I was like, oh shit, like, what the fuck was that?
I must have missed that when I was writing the notes.
Yeah, maybe you look down to right. It's very quick.
Yeah.
This is a later scene, but that scene sets up this next scene, because he's telling her to go back to work or whatever.
Okay.
So that's very, very cool. I love that. I geeked too. I thought that was a badass. Martian Manhunter, man, makes his appearance, so very cool.
I put geeking out over Darkseid.
Okay.
I think this is when Batman has his vision. Darkseid is just kicking ass.
How about that scene?
Yeah,
man, that scene is so loaded with stuff.
It is.
They showed it briefly in the little when Snyder was releasing his little trailers leading up to the day of the release, and it's brief or whatever, but you do see the fucking Omega beams.
Yes. Yeah.
And he vaporizes that Atlantean. I think it's just like, you're like, holy shit, Omega beams. Like, I was like, holy fuck.
I geeked out too. That's why I put geeking out over Dark Side. And then I put Kilowog.
Yep, that's him.
That was Kilowog.
Yeah, that's him. I saw that confirmed in another video, but when I looked, I was kind of like, it's so quick. But I was,
it is quick. But I paused it and I was like, that has to be Kilowog.
Now, when I glad I watched that other video because it broke it down and it said you're also seeing the Hall of Justice, the top.
Yeah, yeah. No, I did see that. Yeah,
they said Diana's shield is there, Wonder Woman's shield is there, and they said that he's got Batman's mask in his hand.
Yeah, he did.
And then I think there's like an arrow.
There's
Superman. Yeah, there's like an arrow or something there or whatever too. But man, those nightmare scenes, as they call them, KNIGHT nightmare scenes, are pretty fucking rad. I mean, like, it's like showing you this really dark universe where, you know, you don't want to see that unfold because it's fucking wild.
Yeah,
you know
so it's like, again, you're seeing where Superman might be twisted again by Darkseid and what the damage he can cause if he's ever gone to the dark side. So
yeah, exactly. Let me see what else I have here. I said I just was talking about the exhuming the body too, like a poor use of time with the Flash.
That's where I kind of
you can still be respectful if you're Barry because you're super fucking fast. You don't need to both be digging them up. You know, we kind of already said that. We said what we talked about, the Batman Faith stuff. I totally love that. And I put here that it reminds me of the Batman the Animated Series scene, and it's after Alfred gives him this great speech where he says, you know, if you don't think you can win, don't wave the red flag at the charging bull. And then he says, Batman awesomely says, you do if it's this red flag. This red flag charges back. I thought that was pretty badass. And then I wrote here, Martian Manhunter ! I think that scene comes right after that one. I put that I did miss the last scene. This is really fast forwarding towards the end, guys.
I got mine too, kind of like towards that. It's really kind of like where they've already resurrected him. That's where my next notes are going.
Okay. One of the things I really like, well, again, before I get to this part, then, because this stuff is like for the real end here. I wrote down Eisenberg sucks, which we already said, but
which you don't see him though until
thankfully they cut out a lot of that. But you're getting into right when he gets resurrected. So the scene that you see that we're talking about is the vision that
where
Victor
he's all
Stone,
twisted.
Cyborg gets when they're about to do it. They're all saying no. You know, Arthur, Aquaman is saying no, and Batman's like, no, go do it. Like, keep doing it. Like he's like, he needs to fulfill.
The computer is showing him almost. And the computer keeps advising. Not to go through with this resurrection.
And they're on the Kryptonian ship, right? And the ship's like, oh, I don't think this is a good idea because it knows that Steppenwolf is going to come for the mother box once they do
that too. But it's also warning them about this whole thing, you know, about this vision
potentially. Yeah, which I also kind of. Do you have any theories, AA, or why do you think why is Batman of all people prone to these visions?
Well, it showed Cyborg though.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, he's the one having that vision. Right. But Batman has had all these nightmares.
I don't know why either. I don't know if he got hit somewhere. I don't know why he's so connected.
Or maybe someone's kind of pushing images into
his
mind.
Yeah, you know maybe it is. Maybe it's John. So,
maybe. And we did know that he saw Flash in the Batman v Superman in that sequence where he's like, I'm too early. And he's like, Lois is the key or whatever.
Maybe it is Flash. Maybe it's Flash that's doing it.
Maybe giving him kind of like a little bit of insight to the potential future or what the future that he's in. So after he gets resurrected, we get that great scene.
Which I was like, I love how Superman easily beats Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash. I love how he just beats them all like nothing.
Yeah.
You see Cyborg, he's trying to fly in and he's just like stop completely. He's got Aquaman here, he's got Wonder Woman here. Cyborg's trying his damnedest, he's not budging. And then that badass scene of Flash, he's running and he sees Superman turning and like where he's like, holy shit, this guy can see me.
You say what you will about Ezra Miller, but his face, without any words, his face says that he's like, oh, no one's ever seen me at this speed. You know? So that's very, very fucking cool. That's almost to me almost identical to the original. And
it is.
That's
that whole scene is.
Yeah,
almost.
And that scene stood out to me in the original. That's what in the
yeah.
cut. I was like, oh, that.
No, I loved it. I loved how they showed it. It was like it didn't matter how many of them were coming at him. He was stopping all of them.
Yeah, they were fucked. It was like a bad situation for sure. So a part that we disagree on is that. Well, number one, did you know this? I learned this from watching again another video in my research, but that the officer that Lois is bringing coffee to every day is Jimmy Olsen from the original, the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Really, that's him from Back to the Future?
Is he in Back to the Future?
The brother?
Yeah.
Holy
yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention.
His name's Jerry.
Whatsoever.
Yeah. And my second viewing, I looked for it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's his fucking face. Okay. Whatever. Yeah. So Lois is bringing coffee, guys, and if you know the original Christopher Reeve Superman movies, Jimmy Olsen, that's him. He's playing that Metropolis cop, and apparently he makes a cameo in the Joss Whedon version too, but in a different role at Central City. So in this one, he's the cop that Lois is bringing coffee to every time she goes to visit the Superman monument. So in the Joss Whedon cut, it's very clear that Batman is like, unleashed a secret weapon or whatever he says, and it's Lois Lane. We think it's kryptonite. You're right away like, oh, he's got kryptonite somewhere, but it's Lois Lane that comes out and that stops Superman. But you know that it's Batman who did it. Now, in this one, they don't do that. They don't have it there that it's Batman that brought her. And in fact, you're almost led to believe because she goes all the time, she just happened to be there when this is happening. So you like that better?
I like that better. Yeah.
Why would you say that you maybe?
I just it was a part of Batman that I don't like, that he always had all the answers, all that bullshit. Somehow he knew Lois Lane. I mean, what did he expect Superman to be like when he woke up? He already knew he was going to be mad and disoriented. And that bringing Lois was going to be the key. I mean, I don't know. You don't know what to expect when you bring someone back from the dead.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, a zombie half the fucking time, but
which he seemed like, at first,
for sure. It was very monkey's paw type shit.
Yeah.
So I like the original cut better. I do like that it is Batman that kind of has that knowledge, only because the rest of it isn't so heavy-handed. I would have been okay with that in this version because the rest of the Batman shit isn't really heavy-handed. So that to me would have been like, okay, that's a cool little thing that he knows about Superman or whatever. So
I mean, if it was the Lazarus Pit, sure.
Yeah.
But you just don't know what to expect with this kryptonite shit.
Right.
Right.
So that was very interesting. So I mean, that was fine. That scene was fine. Now, what did you think about this? So in the original, the Whedon one, he gets a hold of Batman, he kind of flies him up in the air, and that's when he hits him with the line that he gives him. I always liked that. I always liked that Superman gave him the line, like, do you bleed? You will or whatever. Then he fucking chucks him. You know what I mean? He chucks Batman like nothing or whatever.
That was actually my favorite part of the whole Justice League.
I actually like that part in Justice League.
That was my wife's favorite part because it's just like, finally, thank you.
Right. Like it's answered.
Yeah.
There's no questions.
And
here.
that was on purpose.
Right.
To answer that question.
Definitely. Yeah. But in this one, Batman's got these gauntlets. They're kind of working on them throughout. They're very like Wonder Woman based. They absorb energy.
Yes.
Superman like pretty much blasts it with the fucking heat vision. And he absorbs one, then it's like too hot. It breaks off. He throws it. Yeah. He goes for another round. The other gauntlet absorbs it. But you're at that point, it's like, well, fuck, like Batman's about to be fucked or whatever. You know what I mean? But then Lois comes from around the car. Not out of the car, like they let her out of the car, like how it was in the other version. And she's like, Clark, blah, blah, blah. And he sees her and then pretty much calms the raging guy, and then they take off or whatever. And I love all that stuff, all that scenes at the Kent farm and all that, I think are beautiful. Mm-hmm. Him and her, him talking about the ring, the mom showing up. Like these are parts where I fucking get like super emotional. Like I was like, man, that is like really good. Like those are really good parts. But I think that whole little fight was awesome. And again, it was almost identical except for the little changes with Batman. Double A liked it one way, I liked it the other way. I think both ways do work. They worked. It was fine. You know what I mean? So it was good. And we get to pretty much, you're getting to this Superman that's about to calm down. And then, like I said, his mom shows up too. And then he's going to say, hey, you know, he said something a little different in the original, which I think also might have landed a little bit better, because he's like, you know, he says why he has to go, his purpose and things like that, to go find out what's up. It's almost in a sense like, I just came back to life, but I got to go face this life-threatening threat, you know. And it's kind of like, well, fuck, you just got back, you know what I mean? In this one, in the Snyder Cut, I think he just says, they wanted me back for a reason, I got to go find out. And we get that cool scene with him and Alfred. And he's in the black. Well, first I think he goes to the ship, right? And
he goes to the ship first to get a suit, and then I guess that's when Jor-El kind of probably tells him about that black suit, which I geeked out again. I even put, oh shit, the black suit with some exclamation marks.
Yeah.
And he does almost a repeat for Man of Steel. He's kind of like getting ready to fly again, and he breaks like Mach 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You know, and then he goes out, you know, and he's like this with the sun, you know, like soaking it in.
Which is a great scene, and which is a great callback to the fist down and the rocks.
Yeah.
Like,
and you see like how everything, like it kind of like rises up where he's almost powering up.
Right.
You know,
right. Like almost like the earth senses the energy around him, and it's like rising. Yeah. So that's very, very fucking cool, I think, in my opinion. And then and then afterwards we start getting ready. The Justice League, you know, they don't know what to think of Superman, so they're kind of like they're just making a plan now. Yeah, they might have to go it solo without him.
They are, they're thinking about that. So, you know, they're coming up with a plan, strategy of how to stop Steppenwolf from getting all their mother boxes. So
and well, he ends up getting the last one, but they're able to track it thanks to Victor's dad.
Heating it. Yeah,
he makes a sacrifice,
which looked like a T2 sacrifice.
It's kind of very cool, kind of in the lab and everything. So,
but even like the button, you know, just like you know,
it makes you wonder. Snyder must be a big T2 fan, but it's cool. Unfortunately, you know, Cyborg has to see his dad like incinerated in front of him. You know.
But much better. I like how they gave him much more meaty role.
Yeah, you know, so. There was some good acting there that got fleshed out more. That was glad to see that. So definitely, the dad, Cyborg's dad, was a cool one. But yeah, they find out that he used the beam to mark the box. I like that. I like that he wasn't trying to destroy it. He was smart enough to know he was to mark it.
Yes,
so that was cool. And then like Double A said, they go after it, and then. You know, they're going to start their plan with their run at Steppenwolf and at the base. You know, Batman knows he's got to destroy the shield.
Like, what, in Chernobyl almost?
Yeah, pretty much. Like this kind of Chernobyl thing. And Batman, again, he's also very self-sacrificing. He's like, oh, you know, I'll do it. I'll be the one that makes that run. Then you guys go at him. You know what I mean? Why? Because they also write it really well where I feel like they write it where he feels like he knows, like, what good am I going to be against Steppenwolf? Let me do these other things. And that's very cool. Like to see Batman in this kind of like ancillary role where he's going to be taking care of business. You know, let me do all the things that I can do the best way I can do them. And he's doing that, you know, like, let me knock out the shield. Okay. Once it's out, you guys go at it. Then it's like, okay, even later on, when they do that, he mans a gun and he's like, let me try to take out some of these parademons or whatever, you know, that's all very cool. You know, the plan comes to form that they know that they got to hit Cyborg with the charge and push Cyborg into the boxes. Now I like this part a lot, because I'm going to say this a couple of times, but this is where it feels like now they're acting like a team. It's like a team effort. Everyone's doing a part. It's very important. Yes. Everyone has a role. No one is more important. No individual is more important than the sum of the whole, or some of its parts, however that saying goes. But guys, we're right at our next break. I see some comments are in. We want to read those real quick. We're going to take a quick blip and be right back. Guys, if you're joining us on Facebook Live, you know what we always say. We don't go anywhere. We're right here with you. We want to get right to your comments right now. Let me scroll up. Double A, I will let you read through when you... Oh, he says, yes, he was scared. Double A, take it away. Can you take it while I get a bathroom break?
Yeah. Richard says, I did like how they did Superman in the black suit. Yes, we agreed. It's a huge part of his resurrection. I did too. We did too, Richard. Joe says he's the first one. I don't know what you said, Joe. Richard says, I would really love to see Green Lantern in a movie or just more of the character mention. I do too, Richard. I wish I flipped when I saw that first Green Lantern. I was hoping there'd be more. They even mentioned how there's no lanterns protecting Earth anymore. Joe says, the girl singing creeped out my wife. Hey man, Joe. Rasho busted his ass. Yeah, but would you rather have him or the Admiral? That's what I'm saying. You know. Richard says, I think that's why DC is not as popular as Marvel. They go the easy route with its movies, stay true to the comics, stay dark, and use popular characters, and I guarantee you have a better success. Yeah. John Jones, I hope we see more. I hope so too. We see the Omega beams. That was really fucking cool. I loved how they went in every direction. That was awesome, Joe. Richard says, I think that scene with Martian Manhunter and the Joker scene was awesome, but really made me say my comment on why I didn't like the film was because it can lead to a second film. I wish there could have been more dark side in the film. I wish so too, Richard. It sucks that we're not probably going to see Martian Manhunter again either. So, Joe says, for the first time ever, Alfred, I'm going on Fate. Score at 110, 10 being the highest. Gabriel, I'd say it's a 7. It's good. It has a lot of good parts, Gabe. Richard says, so why is Lois the key? Lois. I don't know why she'd be the key. Maybe she dies and Superman turns evil because of that. That's the only thing I could maybe think of. Maybe she dies in that nightmare future. I don't know. Joe says Martian Manhunter goes to him at the end as he's having a nightmare thing that hints at him giving Bruce the nightmares. I think so too, Joe. I think maybe he knows something and he's trying to warn Batman. Richard says that was a badass scene. Just shows that Superman is a bad motherfucker. Yeah, he is. So Nightmare, does that happen in the comics? I don't know about the comics, Richard, but in the Superman animated series, the last 2 episodes ever, they're about him being twisted by Darkseid. You might want to check that out. That's on HBO Max already. It's the last 2 episodes of Superman, the animated series. Joe says, me and Chuck would be weeping. Yeah. So Richard says, Superman was powering up like some Super Saiyan shit. Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, I wonder if they got that from Dragon Ball. Richard says, though, if you had to pick one Justice League member to go to battle with, who would it be? Who would you pick? Superman. I have to go Superman. Why not? So, yeah. I think that's it, guys. Keep pouring in with the questions, comments. So, we want to know your thoughts.
Okay. What did I miss?
Richard says if you had to pick one Justice League member to go to battle with, who would it be? I said Superman.
Absolutely Superman, without a shadow of a doubt on that one. So great question, Rich.
Richard says, so the Nightmare, does that happen in the comics? I told him I don't know about the comics, but I told him in the last 2 episodes of Superman, the animated series, that does happen.
Oh, really?
Have you never seen that?
I've never seen that.
Okay, so if you go, it's on HBO Max.
In the Superman version?
Yes. Go do Superman, the animated series, go all the way to the last 2 episodes. It's pretty much that. Superman somehow gets brainwashed by Darkseid, and he conquers Earth in the name of Darkseid. And they have this really great battle in the second to last, or in the last episode. They have this great fucking battle. But Superman's like dicked out like in this badass armor.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like he's waving, he has like the flag of apocalypse. Oh, it's fucking cool. Check it out. Check it out in Superman the animated series.
I'll definitely check that out. I do know that the Nightmare Batman, the way he looks with the goggles and that duster coat,
he looks like Red Sun, right?
Well, no, there's actually what I saw on another video is that there is a comic book series called that. Joe, maybe you know this. I know Albert would definitely know, but it was called like Batman Last Days or something like that. Pretty much, but it's pretty much that costume you see in the Nightmare is exactly from that. So that series looks cool, but apparently too, it's a kind of like a dystopian future type Batman story or whatever. But he's essentially wearing that exact costume.
Gabe says score from 1 through 10, 10 being the highest. I said 7.
Oh, for what?
Justice League, Snyder Cut.
I'll go 8.5.
Okay.
8.5 Gabe on that.
And then Richard says, so why is Lois the key? I said, I think something happens to her where she dies. And I think that's why Superman gets all twisted up. I'm going to assume that's why she's the key. If you can save Lois, Superman stays Superman.
She keeps him essentially grounded. So you see that scene where he's on his knees and he's holding this skeleton, right? Rich, you might have to go back and look at it again. This is people that like have broke down the scene. So the skeleton he's holding, the charred skeleton he's holding in his arms is Lois. And that's when you see Darkseid kind of put his hand on his shoulder. And it's at that point you're pretty much like, oh, we're fucked. Like, that's it. Like, he's like, I got nothing more to live for. So, whatever. Now, since I think we're are we back live? Are we back on air?
No,
let me put his. Oh, are we done with comments?
No. Real quick. Joe was saying, I think Kevin Smith was the first person to make Ben a lead. He probably was. Gabriel says, what did you miss, CM? I am now the newest member of the JFN crew.
Oh, well, welcome aboard, Gabe. I'm glad to hear you got on board with the winning squad here, man. Welcome.
And then Joe says, Injustice.
Injustice. That might be where it's from. Injustice, where that Batman wears that nightmare outfit. So
okay, now we're all kind of.
Gabe, I'm glad that you joined the team, Gabe. Seriously, man. We've got a lot of books to be pressed, my friend. So let me get us back on the audio. Let's make this the last leg here. I think the rest of me and Double A's comments are kind of about some of the end stuff.
Yes.
Of course, the movie has a lot of meat to it, and we're open to talk about anything you want. Guys, thanks for joining us back. We just came back from comments, and again, we're talking all things Zack Snyder's Justice League. For us, like I said, we've got some comments that are kind of more towards the end of the movie, and we're going to get into that part already. Because again, there's a lot in between. We could go break down the whole thing, but then we'll be here as long as the Snyder Cut. We've done that before. We're trying to save it. My goal, guys, is to get the show up on Friday night, so before midnight. So I want to get it up and out online before. That's kind of our new method to our madness here. But so we were talking a little bit in the comments about the nightmare scene, right? Obviously, very famous scene, reshot. They said that the Ben shots were shot separately, the Ben Affleck shots, and then they added in the Jared Leto shots and shot those later. But it was cool that we got to see Jared Leto's Joker come back, and we could see a different take on the one that we'd seen since Suicide Squad. And it was very, very cool, I thought. It's very dark. There's a different team. There's an evil Superman. I mean, and you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And essentially, it's like something happens to Lois. The reason why Lois is the key is because when she gets killed, Superman has nothing else to live for, and he's not tied to humanity anymore. So, you see that scene where he's holding the kind of the charred skeleton. That's supposed to be Lois. And apparently a pregnant Lois. Oh. And so after that, you see Darkseid, like I said, he puts the hand on him, and it's like, you're like, all right, now he has essentially the grandest general ever of any army under Darkseid. And I don't think it's in Superman's character to turn like that, despite great loss.
But you know what? We've talked about in Green Lantern. We talked about in Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
When you push those characters to the edge, when they lose their loved ones.
Now,
godly, what? I mean, you're just at the core.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can take.
Now, in Kingdom Come, AA, if you guys have never read Kingdom Come by Mark Waid and Alex Ross, one of the greatest comic book stories of all time.
My favorite DC story.
Any DC, any Marvel, DC, anywhere. It's just one of the greatest comic book stories. If somebody said, give me a list of comic book stories to read, a top 5, it would definitely probably be in the top 5. Kingdom Come is absolutely gorgeous and epic, and you cannot not read it. So if you haven't read it, one of the things, spoiler alert, one of the things that happens is the death of Lois Lane at the hands of the Joker. He pretty much blows up like the Daily Planet.
He does. He kills Jimmy, Perry, Lois.
And Superman does lose it temporarily. He wants justice.
Yes. So he doesn't kill him.
Yeah.
And he kind of goes into retirement. Here, we're assuming like he just fucking snaps. He's like, you know what? Lois is gone. There is no more Lois. Right. There is no reason for me to continue like this. Like it's almost like I've given myself up to this planet over and over, and now this is how I'm being treated.
Yeah,
I've lost Lois, the one person I was supposed to protect. And if you got someone like Darkseid, maybe that has those words that you know what? You don't have to feel this pain anymore.
Right.
You know,
let's just fucking burn it down.
Burn
you know
it
what
down.
I mean? Like, all right, you know what I mean? Now, I don't think that Superman is that weak-willed. Now, in the Kingdom Come story, he loses all that, but he, like I said, he tries to get justice. He wants justice on the Joker.
Yeah, with that one, he still stays Superman.
Yeah, he goes to court, in fact.
Yeah.
They go to court.
Yeah.
But at the court, a rogue superhero, a new guy, Magog, is like, yeah, this is bullshit. We should just kill this guy. And he kills him.
Yeah.
And he's like, he is essentially the type of guy that's like, how many lives have been lost because y'all don't do what I just did and kill?
Yeah.
You know, so essentially after that, it's like the birth of a new type of superhero, a superhero that kills and Superman leaves and all the old heroes kind of go into retirement. It's a very, very good story. But anywho, in this version, it looks like that's not how it's going to go. Now, here's what I wanted to hit you with, and you guys out there still listening. Earlier, our Friday Night at Crystal was saying about Lois being a hoe. So apparently, what was supposed to happen in Snyder's cut or continued Snyderverse was that Lois was pregnant and killed, but that the baby was not Clark's, that it was Bruce Wayne's, that they hooked up while in the grieving period, and that when the baby was born, it was going to not have powers, and it was going to become the next Batman, not like another Superman or whatever. But part of the grief was that A, Superman's discovery of that, and B, the death of Lois Lane and the baby. And I was like, well, now you're compounding things. So it's like, well, that could definitely.
He wants to kill Batman.
Yeah, no wonder he fucking gets driven and completely like.
Oh my goodness.
Because like I said,
I'm glad they didn't go through with that.
I feel like that's a very dark path to go down. And I would not have wanted to see them walk that path or whatever, because it's like they'd have to show us like, well, how and why did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, when did this happen or whatever, that them two hooked up? And that's never been. Now, again,
never.
I'm all for a different take on things, but that's never been anything. Yeah. There's never been no Bruce and Lois stuff ever. Like, that's just like really heavy-handed, you know? So that's what I heard. And then another thing that I had heard too is just like, I'd heard it without the Lois and Bruce thing, but I had heard it with just that their kid was going to be born. Clark and Lois's kid was going to be born, but it wasn't going to have powers and be trained by Batman.
Like Kingdom Come.
Kind of Kingdom Come. Yeah, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? I think in Kingdom Come, it's like, but it's Superman and Wonder Woman.
It kind of is, but they train it. They give it to Batman to train
to be the Godfather, which is very cool. So those are things that you're like, well, that might have been a way different telling or whatever. You know what I mean? But one of the things I really did like at the end, when Flash is running circles or whatever. And I heard arguments too. Dude, one of the things I really loved they took out when I first watched it that I loved right away was that they made Flash really relevant again. They made him somebody. And I felt like they really pussyfied him in that Whedon cut where they made him like, Batman tells him just save one person, which is a cool line, but it wasn't cool in reference to when he was like, I don't know how to do this, blah, blah. Like all I ever do is like push people out of the way. Like I was like, wow, you make him so lame, so lame. So they never bring that up, whatever. And it's like, you can do things, you know what I mean? But I do think he could have been better used instead of running around in circles. He would have been better used. Well,
he was supposed to be in that charge.
Right.
Cyborg needed.
But then again, too, it's like he's running around in the circles. And again, somebody else said this, but I had thought this too, or whatever, is that like he's running around and it's like, well, that parademon gets off that fucking shot like the Kennedy assassination.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? How do you see him? How do you know what time to shoot?
I think he just like closed his eyes and was like, I'm just gonna fire it. Maybe I'll get lucky. I'm like, damn, that's like hitting the lottery for that parademon. So he hits him. But what I
thought that was bullshit.
Yeah, that was bullshit. But what I did like about it was that what you see Barry do is he kind of wills himself to heal fast.
Yeah.
And it made me think, I was like, man, that's right. Everything that we do that takes time, that's slow, he can do it fast because he's the fucking Flash. Yeah. He can heal fast. You would imagine he can think fast. You know what I mean? He should be able to do everything really fast. Like I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that they showed that. So he's like, you got to do it. You got to heal. I was like, I kind of like how he like pumped himself up. And then I think that scene is delightful with him when time is up. You know what I mean? And the boxes merge and they're like, he's here. And you're like, oh man, they're done. Like they're finished or whatever. And then Barry's like, nope, got to do it right now, whatever. And then he just takes off. And I was really critical too of the running style in the first one. But in this one, like it kind of works a little bit better. How it's almost like they kind of say like he's like skating through time.
Yeah.
So that is like, oh, well, that puts like a spin on it in your mind, and so that made it okay. And it looked really neat when his feet were hitting the ground, and it was like the lightning, and it was almost like he's beating time as it unfolds. Like I was like, holy shit! Like now in those moments, you definitely feel like he's faster than Superman. You're like in those moments,
and he should always be, because like I told my wife that in that Kingdom Come that we were just talking about, he gets to a point where he's so fast that he's just like he's everywhere, but he's even like in different like. Almost like planes of reality, right? Because that's how fast he is now. That he's just gone beyond anything, and they kind of show that he is still faster than Superman in this one. Yeah, when Superman is trying to hit him, right? Sure, Superman can see him and everything, but he can't really hit him.
Dodging.
He's still dodging
like,
Superman.
Shit, yeah. Like, so he's barely dodging it, but he's dodging.
But he's still showing that they're fat. He's still faster than Superman. Which I think should always be the case. I think he should always be faster than Superman.
I can't remember whose argument it was, but they were like, he's supposed to be the fastest man on the planet. If he's not, then what's the point? But my argument to that is that he is the fastest man on the planet. The fastest man. Superman is a Kryptonian.
So. You know what? If you're giving that man that power, I think he should just be the fastest. Honestly, Superman should be able to keep up with him, but not keep up with him.
And they do so much with it too. The Speed Force and everything. I really do like that.
Like look, Superman's your all-around badass. Let Flash have that speed. That's his thing.
Totally.
You know.
Totally. Sometimes there's a guy on the team that's a better dunker than another guy. Like that guy can dunk better than anybody else.
I have my notes here, Sam. I love the fight scene. I love that whole ending. I love how Superman comes, man, and he just pounds fucking Steppenwolf like he was nothing. Yeah. Man, he's punching him all over the place until he gets him on the ground, and then he just does a UFC on him. Just boom, boom, boom.
And then he's like, heat vision. You're like, holy shit, takes the horn off. Now, did you like it better than the original where he kind of shows up behind him and he's like, he says like a line to him or whatever. He's in the red and blue costume. In the Whedon cut, he doesn't appear like that. Like, as the axe blows about to drop, he appears behind Steppenwolf.
No, I don't remember.
Says something else. Yeah, he makes
but I love how it didn't even like do anything to him, and he, man, I just loved it. It almost reminded me of like the Hulk in the Avengers, of just using him very little, but showing how much more of an impact it is. Man, as soon as you come in, because Wonder Woman and Aquaman are teaming up on Steppenwolf, and Steppenwolf still kind of, beating them, and then Superman just comes in. It's just like it's a one-sided match.
It really turned the tide.
Of the fight, you know what I mean? Then that's where CM's talking about, with Flash and because the mother boxes do unite, and I guess it blows everyone up. Yeah, until Flash kind of like halts time, turns it back. Yeah, and gives them that chance to not blow up against all of them.
And then here's what's cool, like some people might think that it was like very cyborg centric or whatever. Well, I think they gave him a much bigger role.
That one I can actually go with, that whole thing of him communicating with the mother box.
Right, because he was like technology. They built that up. And this is what I thought was good about the movie. Is I was like, oh, well, they built that up and they're filling our heads with that story because it's going to get to the point where we're talking about the reason why we need to know that about Cyborg is we need to know that about him because, well, he's about to do this thing or whatever. He does that, but what's still neat is that he still calls Superman when he's trying to pull the boxes apart. Yeah, then I love that. Superman helps him. Then it's like, now it's feeling more and more like a team. Like we're getting a team by the end. Like the Justice League is forming, and then obviously that great 3-part. Destruction of Steppenwolf, you know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Get Arthur, you know what I mean? Aquaman just literally drive the truck.
Yeah, so I love that too. So that tag team of him and Wonder Woman, where there's like no mercy. Yeah. He steps Steppenwolf, then fucking
Superman lays him out and he's flying.
Diana
about to fly into Apocalypse through the hole. And then, but before he gets through, Diana is just like, let me take this opportunity to chop your fucking head off.
She cuts his head off, man. That was a great scene. I loved it. I loved how Aquaman stabbed him and then Diana cut his head off. And
the kind of two that are kind of known for that kind of stuff, right? Like, oh, if anyone's going to be killing, it'd be them two. You know what I mean?
And then, man, the head It goes to Apocalypse, and Darkseid just like stops it with his foot and then just crushes
right
it.
At Darkseid's feet, like, and then No Mercy, man. He just, yeah. I was like, wow, that was a pretty stellar end, I had thought.
And then, man, that stare off.
Oh yeah,
that Darkseid decides
looking down at them at the league,
and they're looking at the league, and you're just like
deciding. You, like you said earlier,
honestly, I was a little nervous. I thought he was going to kill someone. I thought Darkseid was going to shoot the beams.
Omega beam blast.
I thought he was going to do that.
Interesting.
And when it closed up, I was like, oh wow, okay, okay. And then it shows Darkseid where he's like, okay,
ready the Armada.
Get ready. And then that's when you get a better look at Granny Goodness. Which I flipped to. She's in much better shape, than the comic counterpart. But man, I was like, cool. It's Darkseid. It's Desaad. It's Granny Goodness. I was like, yes. And it looks like he's preparing himself now.
You think they'll give her that name in the movies? I mean, that would
be why not?
I don't get it. I never got why that was her name. I don't know the character that well though, so maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, it's just she's a twisted granny to a lot of like his I guess more elite fighters than the parademons.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I mean, man, that stare off. He knows what challenges are coming with Superman. He saw what Superman did to Steppenwolf. He saw that Diana, mercy. No mercy.
And again, it was almost like we talked about with our NBA episode. It's like when your leader can make the rest of you better and pump you up. It was almost like they got sharper once Superman got there. They were like, we're more precise. We're better. We're more confident. We have more faith that we could win this fight now.
It's like you said, when you have Michael Jordan in the lineup, you just feel like, okay, you can win.
Or how about this? Jordan goes out at the end of the third quarter to the locker room, and you think he ain't going to come back. Then he comes back out. You're like, oh, man, fuck. Yeah. We're fucked, man. Like, he's back and he's mad or whatever, So, great end. Great scene at the top, the beginning. They're at the top of the tower.
Yeah, so that whole battle scene was really good. That part was really good. Yeah. That whole fight scene was good. And then we get back to your man. Lex. Apparently he's escaped and put someone else in his cell.
I'd almost pushed him out of my memory for this movie. And then I was like, oh, you again. I was like, and by the way, that scene earlier where he's not at the jail that's that scene right there. He's not at the jail. Like, I just was like, that's fucking stupid. Like that bald guy sucked trying to like scare the guard and the guard getting scared. Like, the guard should just fucking hit him with a nightstick or something and been like, what the fuck are you barking at or whatever? Like I thought that was dumb. But then, Lex on the yacht. I don't know what this Lex is supposed to be. He's like a snarky, I don't know what he is. He just comes off lame.
And I told CM that, like, I'm not so familiar with a lot of, like, the villains. So I was like, I wish I could have popped for Deathstroke. I didn't know who he was until, like, afterwards. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, Deathstroke.
I know enough about Deathstroke to know that,
obviously, Slade Wilson, Wade Wilson.
Yeah, he's the Deadpool kind of, the
Deadpool is the one that ripped him off.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. I like Joe Manganiello a lot, so I thought that was neat. He looked good. He looked big and cool.
But then the info, he gives him, he's like, Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Right. Which you're kind of like, ooh, that's kind of like where does the story for the Batman movie go with that? The what was going to be the Ben Affleck one, where does that story go now with the knowledge is out there that he's Bruce Wayne?
But then you go straight into the other vision now.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Where he's with Batman.
Did we skip over the scene where they look at the table though, and he's like a table?
No.
Okay. So then it goes. You go right into the nightmare scene that we had. And in fact, part of my mind was kind of waiting for it because I was like, when is that going to come in? Because they have it. They showed.
They showed the Joker.
That. Yeah,
they showed the Joker. So I was like,
it was like, so it's at the very, very end, and you see that scene.
But it's like it's him. It's Flash. It's Cyborg and Deathstroke.
Right. Who we just saw as like a bad kind of a guy working with Lex. Excuse me. And then, we see them hanging out like as a team. Now, if you're just watching the movie, there's nothing that lets you know that you just moved into this other like world. Or whatever,
it's just like a wasteland wherever the hell.
Yeah, like a wasteland. Yeah, they're
now obviously you've seen the beginning, the other vision,
right?
So now you're like, okay, shit, this is more of it,
right? And Joe Manganiello says, Deathstroke says, we got to get out of the open because he's gonna find us. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, okay, you know, and then everyone has a little bit of something to say. Mara's there, and she's like, I'm gonna drive this trident through him the way that he did through Arthur.
So you
like,
find out Aquaman's dead.
Yeah. And then before the end, we see Jared Leto as the Joker again. Says some fucking
love the interaction.
Shit.
Love all that.
Yeah. He says some crazy ass shit to Batman, like, you know, even some kind of like pretty crude joke, you know what I mean, about the reach around thing or whatever. But
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Oh, he dead too, huh?
That's right. They show her dead, getting burned on like a pyre with the Amazons. And then Jared Leto tells him, you know, when Mara says, you know, to Batman, you know, what do you know about love? You never loved anything or whatever, you know. And then Joker chimes in. And he's like, no, he's loved, you know, he lost his mom and his dad and his adopted son, who's like, you know, a Robin reference. And then Batman comes back with, you know, well, you know, he did the same. What about Harley Quinn? You know, she died in my arms, saying that she wanted me to kill you slow. What'd you think about the cursing or whatever? They just get in there quick.
Man, I loved it. No, I loved it. It reminded me, this like interaction reminded me so much of the Killing Joke. Like
nice. Yeah.
I loved it. I love this, probably the most, I think it's the best Joker Batman interaction.
Wow. Okay.
Because you just feel the hatred they have for each other.
And he tells him, I will fucking kill you.
It's just weird that Joker's on the team.
Yeah.
That's what's weird.
Or maybe they're dragging him along as some type of bait. That's kind of what I was thinking. Is I was like, maybe he's going to be like, offer him up, Superman. Like, hey, look, we got him.
Maybe
the guy that killed Lois or whatever.
I don't know, because they're like pretty sure if Superman finds him, he's gonna kill them all.
Right. It's going to be no mercy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he does. At the end of that scene, he pops down there.
He shows up and you're just like,
the red eyes, and then Bruce wakes up. You know what I mean? So
but like he doesn't like. It's weird how Bruce kind of like is not too shaken about it. You know, I don't know. Maybe he feels like he can still stop it. Maybe
they should have put more sweat, make it more like wet. Like, you know, like it would have been. Yeah, I definitely think that would have been a fucking scary ass dream or nightmare.
Maybe he's just thinking, you know, it's not real.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Maybe it won't happen.
But I don't think so, because at this point he's been having several premonitions, and he's like, even though he knows like him and Clark are good or whatever, but so then you get the scene with him and the Martian Man.
He tells him war is coming, and he wants to be with him, and Bruce is like, well, take anyone that can get.
And this is a recut or a newly added scene or whatever. You can kind of tell, because my first viewing I couldn't tell, but in my second viewing I could. Like, you know, Ben Affleck looks like really like more in shape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And people online are obviously joking. They're like, "Oh, Martian Manhunter's been here the whole time. He waits for Doomsday to pass, Zod to pass, and then you know, this Steppenwolf to pass." And he's like, "Hey man, I got your back now." You know what I mean? You're like, "Man, what the fuck?" Like, so that's kind of funny. Do we get the scene Double A with the table where he says,
"Yeah"? So they
like the
that's
old
when they
Wayne
go
Manor.
back to Wayne Manor, and he's setting up. You're gonna see maybe the Hall of Justice, which you see in the Nightmare version feature. You know, you're just like, oh shit. So far, everything's leading to this.
Yeah.
And he's saying he wants to put a big round table with about 6 chairs, which Diana says, well,
with room for more.
So that's also
cool. That's
really
cool. Yeah. So, you know, they're going to be the Justice League sitting there.
Do you think him and Wonder Woman have a relationship?
Yeah. You get that maybe kind of throughout, slowly developing.
Maybe that's what Joker's calling.
Yeah, maybe that could be that too. It could be that'd be an interesting aspect to it for sure. What else do we get? Then we go back to Kent Farm, right?
Yes.
And
where you find out that it's not, you know, the bank doesn't own it anymore.
Yeah.
Batman got it. He bought it.
Great scene. This is in the original as well. And he's like, you know, how did you get the farm back from the bank? And he's like, I bought the bank.
I bought the bank.
And Clark has a great face, like whoa, like okay, like all right. And in this Snyder cut, in the original, you just see Lois and Ma Kent going up the stairs. They look back, and it's like this nice scene, and then Clark and Bruce walk in together. Well, in this version, the Snyder cut, the difference is that in the original, Lois has a box in her hands, but they change it in this one, that CGI it, and what she has is what people say. It looked like a basket to me, like a wicker basket, but people are like, no, you can see there's a little hood. It's a bassinet.
Oh.
She's carrying a bassinet. And then what does Bruce say? hey, by the way, congratulations. And you're like, what to congratulate him for? Well, she's pregnant. So again, like Double A said, all this alluding to the coming doom of the nightmare scene or whatever. Maybe, but pretty neat. Even still, even if none of that were to happen, it's like
it might not.
Yeah. In this universe, they are saying that she is pregnant and there's a baby coming. Whether it's, we hope it's Clark's, but I guess in Snyder's Dark World, it could be Bruce's. But what an interesting aspect, you know what I mean, to think about in this version. So, but yeah, pretty much after that, then you see it in the black screen, and then the words "For Autumn" come up, which is Zack Snyder's daughter, who did commit suicide. Very sadly, very tragic, and then who I would say he put together this labor of love for. And a lot of the themes throughout the movie are the parent and the child. You know what I mean? Barry and his dad.
Clark, that's right too. Yeah,
Clark
great scene, great stuff.
Yeah, Clark and his dad, Billy Cudrup, right? What?
Yes, Dr. Manhattan.
Bring it back, Dr. Manhattan.
Yes.
Cyborg.
Great scene too at the end.
Yeah,
when he gets that job.
Yes, I love that. Cyborg and his dad. Yeah, so proud. That scene choked me up too with the Flash stuff.
Yeah.
How about him running in the city and just kind of like almost like enjoying it? Like I thought that was cool. I thought that it looked neat. You know what I mean? But Cyborg too.
Fixing the tape recorder so he can have that with his dad.
Who kind of commentates through the scenes that we just talked about. So it's pretty neat.
And then we get to the doctor at the end. He's the one that turns into the Atom.
The Atom, that's
he becomes the Atom later on. So
they show him becoming the lead
of Star Labs. So
Star Labs,
that's cool too.
Very neat. Cool Lots of cool stuff there at the end of.
It'd be Ray Kingdom Come. The Atom's plays a pretty important part in that one.
Yeah, a huge role in that one for sure. In the Gulag.
Yeah.
Or is it the beginning?
It's the beginning. Yes,
that's right. The beginning, then later in the Gulag. Yeah. So with Kansas,
maybe in our season finale we'll take a deep dive of
I would love to. I love when we do a show where it lets me revisit something.
That's what I'm saying.
So I would be.
We might do Kingdom Come.
That would be a great one. Kingdom Come, guys. But yeah, so then, like I said, the credits and then the song that plays, very beautiful at the end. We all know Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, but this version is done by a different artist, a female, and apparently she's the same female who sang the song Hallelujah at Zack Snyder's daughter's funeral, and she sang it because that was her favorite song. So we know that he used Hallelujah before in Watchmen. So it's somber, you know what I mean, but also nice to see this guy who love him or hate him or love or hate this movie got to see this thing come to fruition that was thought was dead and gone, and he got to see this thing come to life. And the reception I've read is mainly positive from DC fans. They feel vindicated. They feel like this is the movie that they were missing, and that all that. And then obviously now the hashtag is out there, restore the Snyderverse.
I still think they still fucked up on a lot of stuff.
I agree.
I think they just rushed it too much, and hopefully forget about the DC universe. Just make the movies, make the standalone movies. I
would want to see some fan out there will do this, and when it comes out, somebody let me know, send me the link. But some fan is going to do this. You know how they do it. Someone's going to get the color right in between the Snyder cut and the Whedon cut, and they're going to cut in all the good parts of the Whedon one, and they're going to cut in all the good parts of Snyder, and we're going to have this super cut that we can watch, and it's going to probably be a really great movie. It really is. So didn't famously Justin Timberlake do some kind of cut of Star Wars or whatever that he only showed to friends? So. It was like it was like private screenings only. Like no one ever saw it, but everyone was like, it was amazing that did see it. It was like I think he cut together like the original, the not the original, but the
prequels,
the prequels, and they were like, it was like one movie, and they were like, it was so coherent and so like better. It cut out a lot of like the bullshit. Shit. I was like, wow, it's pretty impressive, So, but where are we at on time here, guys? We're right up at against our next break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us into our next break. We're going to read the last of the comments, and then we're going to close out the show. Guys, thanks so much for hanging in there with us for Zack Snyder's Justice League. It wasn't nearly as long, but almost. So if you're listening to us on audio, we'll be right back right after a blip. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you know that we're not going to go anywhere. So we'll be right here. We're going to read your comments. Okay, guys, let's get to those comments. We can get this wrapped up and get us on out of here. Let me scroll on up as we have to do.
All right.
There we go. Double A, take it away.
Rich says, yeah, that's true. You kill Lois, then of course Superman will go crazy.
Agreed.
So he kills Aquaman and Wonder Woman in the Nightmare. Yeah, apparently Mira states that he did with Aquaman. Now Wonder Woman, you don't know, but you gotta assume
you see her dead.
So you gotta assume that there's someone that's gonna be able to kill Wonder Woman.
It's gotta be Superman, yeah.
And she doesn't look like she got blasted by the Omega beams.
No, so, I don't think there would have been anything left. Yeah.
Richard says, so are they protecting Joker or using him as bait?
I'm with the bait thing. I think he had something to do with the deaths, and they want to hopefully barter him with Superman.
I think that it's just that he's so crazy that you can use him for anything. He's not going to give a shit about.
I think I like Double A's answer better. That'd be a better, more interesting movie to do it that way.
Richard said that's some Maury shit about what you said about Bruce maybe being the father.
I know when I kept hearing that, and I heard it in multiple places that was what his plans were. I was like, well, that's never. I don't like that. That's.
And Richard goes, "You are not the father, Superman."
Yeah, can you only imagine? I mean, it was somebody else told me that it was very Rick and Shane and Rick's wife in The Walking Dead, and I was like, yeah, it was very much that. Yeah, Lori.
Joe says it looks like he's throwing time in front of him. Damn, that scene brings tears.
Yeah, it really does. I agree with you, Joe. Yeah.
I love the Wonder Woman Amazon scream they play.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Joe says when Superman blocks the axe, that's badass.
Oh, very badass. Very badass.
Joe says the ending where Darkseid says we will stop at nothing to find the anti-life equation reminded me of the Super Friends shows.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
It was Tim Duncan hitting the 3 against Phoenix. Good.
Oh, that was good. That's so good.
Joe says, yeah, Slade was first.
That's right. Yeah.
Joe says Joker looked more scared of Batman than Superman.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think we talked about that.
Joe says, Batman, make no mistake, I will fucking kill you.
That's right. That's right. A very fucking cool line. I thought people were like, oh, the cussing. The cussing. And I was like,
Joe says, in Mallrats, they say Lois couldn't take Superman's shot, only Wonder Woman could.
That's right. They do say that. Yeah, they could not potentially procreate because they also say the super baby would kick right through her stomach. You know what I mean? So
Joe agrees, Steve. Loves the flash scene running through the city. Joe says, yes, Adam plays in the Justice League
Rock of Ages.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I hadn't heard.
And he goes, if you haven't read Rock of Ages, I highly recommend it.
Okay. Definitely down with that.
And then he goes, I think there's a comic where Superman thinks like Joker and goes crazy. I think it's the Emperor Joker storyline.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, let me know on that one. I want to know a little bit more. But good stuff, guys. Great comments, man. Joe and Rich, you guys hanging out with us here to the end. I think we might have one more.
Yeah, it's just gonna be very little.
We appreciate that, guys. But we're gonna do a few minutes here to wrap it all up. Yeah. We'll be looking at the comments live in this part, so that way you guys can comment live and say anything that you want to say. And then we'll close it out for the night. Guys, thanks for hanging out during that brief blip. We just read through some comments. Great stuff from the Friday Nighters here. Joe and Rich and anybody else still joining in at the time. Rich was just letting us know. I'm sorry, Joe was just letting us know about Rock of Ages being a great story in DC if we haven't read it. He says he thinks that there's a comic where the Joker also thinks like where Superman thinks like Joker and goes crazy. He says Double A, the comic encyclopedia, for sure. Guys, so that's pretty much our take on the Snyder Cut.
So first hour I thought was kind of a waste. The rest of the 3 hours I thought was really good. Maybe I'm not a big fan of that Lord of the Rings fight, but maybe they could have used it as a beginning for the other 3 hours, just to kind of show, I guess, about the mother boxes and everything. But overall, man, I really enjoyed the movie. I wish Green Lantern would have been in the movie.
For sure.
A John or a Hal or Kyle.
Oh man, yeah.
Any one of those three. Loved how they made the team. This is probably the most dangerous team you can ever think of with Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, Batman. that's a fucking dangerous team right there.
For sure. No, definitely.
We love DC. We love the characters. It's just when it, you know, they've hit a whole bunch of bumps and we got spoiled with Marvel.
Yeah, we really did.
Know,
we really did.
Marvel really did it right. DC's kind of just hitting a lot of blocks, but you know what? This was a good movie. I just hope they can straighten themselves out. You know, maybe if they just forget about these movies and kind of try to start over again and just build it up right. Do it slow. Yeah. You don't have to rush. Don't rush to trying to beat Marvel because you're not going to do it.
So would you say, AA, that you're not for restoring the Snyderverse?
No.
But does that, you mean you're okay with losing Cavill, losing Affleck?
No. I wish they would keep those guys.
Do you think though that you can tell a coherent story with people are going to automatically assume those stories tie together because the actors are the same? You know what I mean?
But you know what? It's just, man, they just fucked up on those movies so much.
I agree, and I feel almost like the Wonder Woman movies exist outside.
They exist
and
outside.
And the Aquaman exists outside.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'll do this Flash movie.
Look, Black Adam's going in another direction. Captain Marvel went in another direction. I mean,
have you liked what The Rock's been saying? He said some stuff that you said almost, but he was like, get ready to change the way you think about the power in DC. And that was very interesting to me because I was like, wow, okay. And you know The Rock, he loves Superman. He probably wants that.
He does. He wants Henry Cavill. And he wants to be the bad guy.
He's been hashtagging Restore Snyderverse as well.
Yes, he has.
Look, I think that there is a world where the right writer can come in and he can make all this coherent. And he can make it be like, okay, this is why that is what there's a world where that can happen. Maybe it doesn't involve Zack Snyder. Again, I think that he's a great visual storyteller. I think you need a really strong writer on these scripts. And I'm not even saying like the Russo brothers, because obviously they did their thing already. You know what I mean? And some people I've heard have problems with their writing. And people have problems with everybody's writing.
Of course.
J.J. Abrams was people's darling, and then he kind of fucked up Star Wars, and people were like, you know what, I don't want you no more. And then the other guy said, I don't know. You get somebody to kind of streamline it all, and you put it in the right direction, and you get to Black Adam. I mean, like, you could have a Justice League 2 or 3 and have him as the big bad. I mean, like, I think that there's definitely...
Which he can be.
Yeah.
Black Adam can easily be that big bad.
And that's the thing.
Very easy.
They've got to do that right away. Yeah. They've got to set the precedent where, like, okay, like, you know, Darkseid is very, very bad and powerful and strong. Okay, so it's like maybe you're going to address that situation, and then you get to this other situation with Black Adam. Yeah. That'll be great. And maybe by that time, your Justice League is a little bit more formed out. Maybe Shazam is there. Maybe, you know, if you wanted to add, you know, a
which would be great. You know? Can you imagine if Captain Marvel was in the Justice League?
Oh, yeah.
By the time they fight Darkseid, can you imagine Captain Marvel being right next to Superman?
Yeah. I mean, a Green Lantern. You know what I mean? A Green Lantern would be cool. But not even that. You know, like, you want to build up, you know, you have the lamest Lex Luthor ever talking about a Legion of Doom. Well, who are you going to get in that? I mean, sure, maybe you get him and maybe some type of armor. You get Deathstroke. It's like you get Joker, but you're going to need, you know.
It's weird because it's like the cartoon. Yeah, you can have Lex Luthor bossing around Brainiac and Sinestro, but in this one you can't. How is a human going to be bossing around these fucking?
Well, the way I would do it, even though it would be like,
it would have to be Deathstroke. It would have to be Cheetah that he bosses around.
The way I would do it, if it was me doing this, you know, imaginary, you know, future movie, I'd have somebody take out that Eisenberg, like he just gets narked by fucking Joker or somebody, and we move on without Jesse Eisenberg, and yes, sadly without a Lex Luthor. But you know what, guys, that story's been told.
It has.
And again, we're doing way different things than we've ever done before with these characters. So they're not being a Lex Luthor, not that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
It really isn't. Yeah. Take him out.
You know, bring in Brainiac, bring in, you know, Raj Al Ghul, you could bring in so many people to make up a very, very formidable Legion of Doom to fight the Justice League. You know, because it'll be great to see them go one-on-one against Black Adam, but I'm not one that really cares for too much where it's like, oh, there's like, you know, 5 of these superheroes and it takes all 5 of them to beat this one guy. because it's just been done so much. You know what I mean? Like, the Avengers versus Thanos, the Avengers versus Ultron, the Avengers versus, it's better when like I feel like it's more evened out. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's why Civil War works so well, is because you have like,
the teams
clashing.
Yeah.
What do we always like, right? It's like it's always great when like in wrestling when like good guy versus bad guy, the good guy wins. But it's almost better when it's like, man, what happens when the two best good guys fight? Warrior Hogan, you know what I mean? Rock Hogan, Rock Austin, you're like, man, I like both of those. They're my two favorite guys. It's like, what happens then? So it's like, you got to build it up that way, you know what I mean? Where you eventually get down to that. And really, I don't even think you have it be Shazam and Black Adam. I mean, it's like, that's a good fight, but I think eventually you get to like, Superman and Black Adam or
that's where he wants you to go. Superman.
You know what I mean? And again, I mean, like, yeah, we also want to see Superman fight Darkseid or whatever, but it should be a situation where it takes all of them. It should be like Superman and Wonder Woman and like Shazam, like literally hanging off the guy. You know what I mean?
How cool would that be to see like Captain Marvel and Superman team up against Darkseid?
It would be great. It would be great. And then the Omega beams just flying or whatever. I mean, people have there's got to be deaths. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I like the Snyder Cut. You know what I mean? But I did not hate the Joss Whedon cut like everyone else did. I mean, like, again, I didn't revisit it. I didn't buy it. So as y'all know, those are like my two big criteria. So by that token, you could say I didn't like it. But it's on now. It's well, Double A said it's not on HBO Max. So
I didn't find it on HBO Max.
If it was though, I would look at it again because there were aspects about it that I saw in videos when I was doing my research that were comparisons that I was like, oh, okay, like I don't really remember that, so that's kind of a cool scene or whatever, you know what I mean? But do I like the Snyder Cut better than the Whedon cut? Yes. I feel like there was something out there that existed that I didn't know existed. All I had ever eaten was Little Caesars pizza, and then somebody was like, oh, here, try like Valera pizza, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that there was this. Really great. So I like it. I think it's better. It's a better movie. It works better. It has a better heart to it, and it's for me, it's fine. To me, you asked me to restore the Snyderverse? Yeah, sure. Why not? Give me all the superhero movies. We've already got like 3 Jokers, 4 Jokers. We've got 2 Batmen we know that are out there. It's like, so what? Let there be more. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I love Henry Cavill.
DC's big on that shit.
Yeah. I love the Henry Cavill Superman. I love the Ben Affleck Batman. I love this Tyler Hoechlin show Superman. I love, both Lois's Amy Adams and this current one. So it's like, I think there's room for all of it. The Flash kid, I've never seen that show, but I know he's a good actor. A lot of people like it. And a lot of people like it. Yeah. And he looks cool and the suit looks cool. You know what? Ezra Miller was cool enough to they let him go into that universe.
That was really cool.
So let him pop over too. That's where DC can bank, because they can say, you know what, we're not going to be afraid to cross over our shows and our movies and all of our properties and make DC all of one world. If you do that, then you're already doing something that Marvel's not doing.
Yep.
And it's like you can capitalize on that. That was, to me, would have been the easy move when they were casting this Justice League movie. It's like, yes, some people were established, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman, but you hadn't, before they cast Ezra Miller and all that. It's like, you could easily pull in this show thing. Imagine if those show characters showed up in a movie. People would, the DC fans would pop so hard because those have established success. Don't cast another Green Arrow. Bring in that guy that's Green Arrow, Stephen Amell. I mean, like, I think people will go nuts for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a built-in cash right there. You know what I mean? But again, you've got to make that work out, and then you see what happens. So, any comments come in, though? Do we get?
Yeah, Joe says he thinks he's watched it 5 times. Joe asked me, or asked us, are you saying this team will beat the Avengers? I think, yeah. If you have Superman can crush all of them except for Thor real quick. Like, honestly, he'd go through Cap, he'd go through Iron Man, he's Hawkeye, really Black Widow. I'm sorry. Hulk, the way they made him in those last movies, definitely. He's a fucking joke, the way they made the Hulk in those last ones.
But again, that's really Superman being the linchpin of it. You know what I mean?
But then, like you have Wonder Woman that can take out Thor. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'd like to see
a pretty even battle.
But now here's a question for you though. With you making that argument, we just got to talking about Wanda last week. she's magic. Cannot she not contain Superman? Just put some mystical chains around him, drag him down like she did with Vision.
What about Flash though? Flash can maybe take her out real quick before she even has a chance to do that.
There's a possibility.
And see, that's the thing too. It's like Flash is so fucking quick.
That whole thing where he can move between the worlds or whatever. I mean, but
this team is just is almost an unstoppable team. Honestly, the Justice League is a fucking hard team. To go through.
Now let me ask you something, Double. What about the Defenders versus?
Now, see, the Defenders, that'd be something else. But as far as the Avengers, which I think Joe's saying, I think they can beat the Avengers.
There you have it.
Because Superman is just that.
Superman is the
look in DC and Marvel,
and Wonder Woman's no joke. I mean,
and that's what I'm saying. Yeah. She could take out Thor just like that too. In case Thor's full of magic, right? Mm-hmm. He can probably take out Superman, but then you throw a Wonder Woman in front of him, and it's just like, oh.
It's almost like you would need Thor and Hulk to go at Superman. You hope, but then it's like no one's left to watch Wonder Woman, and
then the thing is too is like, okay, yeah, maybe Hulk can match Superman in strength, but if Superman was really smart and he used his speed on Hulk, I don't think the Hulk would get angry fast enough.
No.
To after Superman KOs him.
I agree. That's a great point. I agree.
If he really used his speed, if he just went boom, 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 boom on the Hulk's slow.
Yeah.
He's not fast.
Yeah.
So Superman Justice League is just, again, it's one fucking hard team.
Yeah, it's really formidable.
I think they would beat the Avengers like no contest, especially with Black Widow and Hawkeye being your kind of like your weak point.
Yeah. I think we got to give Wanda a little bit more. Though,
I would love to see him. I really would love to, but I think Flash, Superman, I think they would cancel her out.
Yeah, interesting.
They'd be too fast for her.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I didn't think about the whole Flash aspect. That's very, very good. That's very good.
If then you put in John can go into probably Wanda's mind.
That's true.
That's
true.
And then that's another thing you have. John's a powerhouse too.
Yeah, the whole.
So now you got Superman, Wonder Woman, and John. And then you throw an Aquaman, son of a
It's funny. Is somebody hearing this conversation might be like, "Wow, you think that the Justice League can beat the Avengers?" But it's like not in the box office.
We've never thought the Avengers were much, honestly, right?
Yeah.
Me and you, we've never said like Avengers will be our team to represent.
No,
me and you probably will go more Defenders than anything.
I mean, that's
Silver Surfer, Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Namor. That's probably our team that we would pick.
I'd like to see that team against the JLA. That might be a better fight. You know what I mean? So it's tough to say. But yeah, I think AA is saying that. I might have to agree with them. And the Superman factor to me is huge.
It's huge.
Super huge. You know what I mean?
Richard says, I'm looking forward to the Rock's movie. Superman versus Black Adam will be badass. I think so too.
Totally.
Imagine Alfred's voice coming over in an Iron Man suit. Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, man, you know what? I love this cut. It was a badass cut. I loved it. I loved how they showed Superman just kicking ass.
Totally.
Batman kind of leading the group while he's gone.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, no,
I liked it a lot.
It was awesome.
The only thing, like I said, I wish it could have been Lantern instead of Cyborg.
Agree. Any version of the Lantern. So again, for me, love the Snyder Cut. Great movie. I suggest going to watch it. You don't have to watch it all at 4 hours at once. Watch it in pieces. You want to make it your own miniseries? The parts are already broken out for you. There's 6 parts, I think. Watch 2 parts a night for 3 nights or 4 nights or whatever, and you can still enjoy it. It's still very, very good. Very fun. I love all things superhero. I love DC and Marvel. I especially love Superman.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? For me, it's just enjoyable or whatever. People will complain, people will gripe, people will find things wrong with it or whatever. Of
course.
Everything bad, there's good things too. If you go to the Marvel movies, even the most popular ones, even in-game, there are things that are wrong.
We've said it. We don't like Iron Man 2 or 3. We don't like, Ant-Man and Wasp are fine movies, but we're not going to go back and repeat watching those.
Right. I'm not putting it on all the time. You know what I mean? So, I own that, but.
The Thor movies, I'm not big on.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't hear people talk that much about Guardians too. Like it's all that or whatever. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But the stuff that's out there, sometimes you're just enjoying it for the moment. So it's like it is. That's where it is with that. But guys, we appreciate you being here with us tonight, hanging in there with us during the Snyder Cut episode. We both liked it. A thumbs up. For both of us. Thumbs up. Thumbs up for the Snyder Cut. Again, go watch it. Tell us what you think. We want to hear all about it. But unless there are any final thoughts, Dylan.
No. I would just recommend watching it.
Yeah.
If you're a comic book fan, just watch it. It's good.
And again, there's so much background built into it. You know what I mean? The story of Zack Snyder and his daughter and all that. I think there's a much deeper element to it. To see it come to fruition, watch it as it is. Maybe it's just meant to be viewed as a standalone, almost, again, with without knowing that that Aquaman came out, and without maybe having seen the Whedon cut. Just imagine you watch this after watching, let's say, Man of Steel, the Ultimate Edition, be Batman vs Superman, and then this. Maybe that's how it was meant to be viewed, and maybe viewing it like that, you're like, wow, it's a really great set of movies right there by Zack Snyder. So guys, for us here at the Just Another Friday Night podcast, we like to say a couple of things before we go every Friday night. One of those things being, guys, if there's something that you want to do with your life, that you hope, that you dream for, that you want to attain, you got to do it. Do it right now. Seize the day, guys. That's what happened with, I think with the Justice League released the Snyder Cut fans. They were like, man, we want to see this. We want to see it. We know it's there. We know it exists, and it can be given to us. Let's make it happen. Let's make a movement, man. Release the Snyder Cut happened, and they seized the day, man. And then we got this awesome movie that we got to watch and all talk about a week ago on HBO Max. You know what I mean? The Zack Snyder's Justice League. So that's awesome. But you also got to know that when you're going to do something like that, it's going to take, you got to do whatever it takes. The way Cap says it in Endgame, you know what I mean? Whatever it takes to get it done. So whether it means you're hashtagging that thing every damn time you get online, release a Snyder Cut, you got to do that. Or restore the Snyderverse now. You got to do that. The same way that, when Zack had the opportunity, Snyder, to redo this movie or release this movie, you know what I mean? He had to go back, put the music on, change the things he wanted to change, you know what I mean? And even reshoot a couple of scenes. That means getting back Ben Affleck, getting back Jared Leto. You got to do whatever it takes. He did that. He got to create the vision that he wanted people to see, and then he got it released. And then that's where we got Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, guys, seize the day. Do whatever it takes. For myself, CM Chuck here at Just Another Friday Night, and my partner,
Double A,
Adam and Tim Adam, guys. This has been another episode of Just Another Friday Night. We thank you for joining us. And we'll see you guys next week. All right. Good night.